Today's show brought to you live from Lounge Media Group Studios. It's Pedro and the Freight Hound with the Logistics Lounge.
Just you wait, change is gonna come.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.
Yo, what's crackalackin', everyone? Appreciate y'all joining us on another Friday edition of the Logistics Lounge, powered by our good friends over at Freight Ninja and Sureline Capital. All your truck parking and factoring needs. Mr. Dirty Dre, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't quite live up to the stamina of.
Oh no, we're not even going to acknowledge him. We're not even going to acknowledge him.
Of the man, the myth, and the legend. But I'm going to do my damnedest to try.
He's running around, playing at a masquerade ball. So yeah,
he deserves that after the week he had.
Oh yeah, he did have a messed up week, man. That poor guy.
I was just thinking that backstage when you'd asked me how my week was going. I said it's been a week, but then I got to think about him. I'm like, yeah, maybe mine wasn't that bad.
That's very true, bro. How has your week been?
I'm just glad that like January is almost over. Like this has been this feels like the longest January that it's ever been on the calendar for some reason. I don't know, but it's been busy. Week was busy. And yeah, glad it's Friday. Get to hang out with you for a little bit and go into the weekend and do some family stuff. How about you?
My week was it was good, dude. It was just fine. I mean, besides all the weather stuff that half the stinking country dealt with, it was perfectly good, man. I had a lot to catch up on. I mean, believe it or not, even though people like us work from home, a lot of our customers and stuff do not. So, a lot of people were still closed because no one was going to the office. So there's lots of things to catch up on. But I got it done. I got it literally done today, like an hour before the show. I did shoot, got all my prospecting done, all my loads booked, all my appointments set, blah, 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 blah. So, and like you, I'm ready for the weekend. Just gonna do some family stuff. I was gonna go on a date with my wife tonight, but our son doesn't get off till like 6:30, and so by the time we got into a place on Friday night, dude, like it'd be like 8:30 before we ate dinner and stuff. So whatever. But we'll do that tomorrow, and then
There you go.
probably
There's always
probably
tomorrow.
yeah, probably nothing else because it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be chilly, a little chilly here this weekend. So I don't know. Probably gonna stay inside.
Now, are you supposed to get any more snow with what's coming in, or
No, we didn't get any snow anyway. We got a bunch of sleet, man. That's literally what we got. Was 2 inches of sleet. So, but no, I do not believe we are. I've honestly have not checked the weather today, to be completely honest with you. But it's going to be it's going to be in the mid 40s and then the upper 50s this weekend. So not like freezing cold, but not warm enough to be doing anything outside and be enjoying it. What about you? Where's it going to be where you're at? Going to be crappy, huh?
yeah, it's supposed to be crappy.
Yeah.
We had to move the schedule around this week because of what came in last weekend, and now it looks like we're having to move it around for Monday because customers are already starting to cancel stuff. So closing down for Monday ahead of the storm. So yeah, I'm just ready for normalcy to get back at it.
That's one thing about winter, man. It is the damn storms and stuff, dude. All the snow and the ice. Even for places that are prepared for it, you get it bad enough, and there's really not much you could do. I saw in news, there were some cities up in the north that had shut stuff down. A buddy of mine, he sent me a picture from his front porch, and he had like an 8-foot snow drift in front of his damn house. So,
Dang.
Nick, next question is, before we do the news, have you tested it and for podcasting, and is that the problem? If not, we're gonna have to test that out before we get off the show today with Gary. I'm gonna send you a link and you come on and see if that's been the issue. Nick swears up and down. I won't say, I don't mean it like that, but like he swears that maybe it's his laptop is why he can't do podcasting. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't
Nick,
matter.
I will tell you that I had the same issue, and I replaced my laptop with this beast that IT Brian calls it, and that was my issue. So my old podcast or my old laptop just couldn't. I just shut everything down if I was running it, and if I tried to like click on anything else while I was on the show, it would freeze me. So I have confidence it's your laptop, brother.
Yeah, that's what he's gotten to, because man, he has lived, I think he's only been in 2 places, the house he had just sold and now where he's at now, but he's had a couple different internets, and no matter what, he's using the same laptop. He has the same issue, and it happens on Iron Minds too, so it's not just with us. So yeah. And swear up and down is appropriate. If you're right. Yeah. Oh man. All right, cool deal. I hope to get you meet your wife. I don't know if she's the best. We're just gonna have to take your word for that right now. Every man says their wife is the best. So, that is yet to be determined, Mr. Clean Smith. Let's see. What were we gonna do? Anything else before we go to the news there, Mr. Talamo?
No, sir.
No?
Bring on the news.
Good deal. Let's do it.
Lounge Media News, brought to you by AR Doc Pro and sourced from truckingnewshub.com.
We are seeing the shortage of the ice raids fruition, I guess. Maybe it's the right word, maybe not. But per Overdrive here, California is facing an uncharacteristic shortage of trucks serving its agricultural regions this January, said DAT's Dean Croak. If you don't know Dean, really good guy, does a lot of analytical stuff. Go follow him and listen to the things he says. And he says it is because of the immigration enforcement. Dean said, looking at data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Fruit and Vegetable Truck Rate Report, I did not even know that was a thing. For January 13th, Dean noticed all 5 of California's produce regions showing a shortage of trucks. Guys, y'all know that we will be posting this. Sorry, let me stop this. We'll be posting this stuff up here in about 10 or 15 minutes. There are some graphics in here. You can go in there and look at them, and you can see what I'm talking about. A lot of this story, or some of the story, may not make sense because it's referring to some of the graphics. So I just want you to know that. Go read the story. When it posts up here in a minute, look at the graphics. You'll fully be able to grasp it. Moving on. Dean also continued saying it's significant this year because in a typical year, when volumes are low, the USDA usually reports an adequate supply of trucks, with the exception of the Imperial Valley, which includes Yuma, or as they call it, the Winter Salad Bowl, where 98% of leafy greens are produced over the winter. This year, there's a shortage of trucks being reported in all regions, so a lot of carriers are just completely avoiding California's winter vegetable market. Rates are always low this time of year, but the big difference this year is enforcement by ICE and DHS, said Dean. In November, December of last year, Border Patrol Operations Highway Sentinel arrested 87 illegal aliens with commercial driver's licenses. The trucks that show up to haul the produce in California come from all over, and they crisscross the country as well. So DHS has made a point of saying that big interstate raids, or have made a point with these big interstate raids, like the ones on I-40 in Oklahoma and the one on I-94 in Indiana, that turned up lots of California licensed illegal drivers, which everyone already knows if you're paying attention to things. Finally, more than 10,000 drivers have been placed out of service since June 2025, though it is unclear how many have actually stopped driving. So this shortage of trucks in California produce regions here in mid-January suggests that the activity by DHS and DOT could finally be moving the market. So, and they're trying to say there's a lot more to this story. I want to make that clear too. This is a lot more of this, but they continue on to talk about moving the market in hopefully a good way. Obviously, less trucks on the road, rate demand stays the same because things still being manufactured, so the rates are going to go up. But they also say that because California is not abiding by anything. They're not pulling licenses. There's also another state, I believe it's New Jersey. They're the only state who is still issuing non-domiciled CDLs and stuff. So, we'll see what happens there.
Well, I think too, right? You've had this going on. And on top of that, for a while, there's been so many trucks that don't go into California and pulled out of California because of the whole crazy clean air regulations that they have over there to, abolish the diesel truck. So hopefully with the EPA, announced kind of trying to put the brakes on that in California, that in combination will maybe offset, some of the CDL shortages with these non-legal CDL holders.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the, oh my gosh, son of a gun. Sorry, dude. I keep burping like a mofo. I don't know what the hell's going on with me. I think that, I think that this is obviously a good thing, to get to be able to get these influx of these drivers that came over here in the last, 5, 6, 7, whatever, 8 years that have and continued up until just a short time ago, that have got into the market or got into the trucking industry here, caused issues with the market, caused issues with safety, blah, 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 blah. So
yep,
it's a good thing. And also, it's just period. We have too many trucks out there. I'm sorry, just we do, which, anyone that is on either side of this, whether you're a driver, a broker, a shipper, you should know that there's way too many trucks out there, which tells you there's not a freaking driver shortage. So getting some of these carriers off the road is inevitably going to be good for the industry for a whole slew of reasons, not just with rates and things like that. But obviously, we're going to still have our the issues, man, because less trucks, we're going to struggle with more capacity issues, and when the rates start going up, you're going to start struggling with a lot of carriers flaking out on you. Hate to say that, that was a really big issue during freaking COVID. I may be giving you $5 a mile, but then when someone says they'll give you 6, you get a lot of problems with people hopping stuff. And same thing with brokers. When they booked you at 6 a mile, but then someone called 10 minutes after and said, "Oh, I can do it for $5 a mile." Boom, they would move and go to that lower truck. So I think we could be seeing some issues with it too, though, man. You know what I mean? So kind of the same thing because of like COVID, just in the reverse effect, or for reverse reasons, I guess you'd say.
Well, you know what? We don't have to worry about that because we can just book all these loads with Gary, put them on a 200,000 pound
That's true.
Load with 36 axles on a trailer and like 200 feet long, and we can just run down the road and just deliver these things all over the place.
Dude, that's what we need. We need to get a heavy haul van trailer. That's exactly what we need, bro. Just shove like 300,000 pounds of freight in freaking Gary's trailer, man. I know that's fucking right. All right, speaking of that, man, let's unless you got anything else you want to add to that, let's go ahead and bring him on.
No, that was my intro for Gary.
All right, let's do it then. My dude, what's happening?
That was a hell of an intro. I like that. You are one of the few that actually get the two part of that name. Purple Rain because of Prince, but Rain spelled like royalty.
Yeah.
So was a lot of people don't get that. My hat's off to you, sir. Well done.
Hey, bro, I appreciate it, man. I mean, it was.
He gets it right every now and then.
Yeah, man. I try. It was all Gary's media. I just put it together in a fancy way with some cool transitions.
But I do have to say, if you could never use the words heavy haul and van again, that would be great.
Hey, listen, dude. We're trying to think
I didn't bring
outside
up
the box
van
here.
I can only imagine, there are van haulers out here now, and don't get me wrong, and I've said this in our first show over a year ago, I respect everybody in the industry, no matter what, facet they're in, but these guys are running, amber and white flashing lights on their dash, in their windshield with van freight. And I'm like, it drives me up the wall. There's no reason for it.
I've seen some of those videos that of that you're referencing there right then, and it is the weirdest thing. It's like why would you do that? It just makes
right.
I don't know. I guess I get the need to feel special is just strong with some, you know what I'm saying,
with some folks, right?
Yeah. I guess what it is.
It's about the same as the guys that put light bars on the front of their rigs too, and there's no reason for that either.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with that. I guess I'd say 90% of the way. I know some drivers, they drive up there in the freaking outback of Canada, dude. And
sure, that's different. Yeah, that's way different.
Or even, some of the ones up in the Northwest, same thing. That's why I said, I agree with you like 90% of the way. Situational.
Some of the Cascadias, people are just putting them on Cascadias or Volvos, and I'm like, what are you doing? Do they have the Eastern European jog suit to go with it?
It's the same thing with the people who have van or reefer trailers, but they have the spotlights on the back of the cab that that are supposed to light up God's green creation, but it lights up nothing because the fucking 53-foot trailer that you have behind
is right there, right?
It all, dude. So
it's intelligence at its finest.
Oh man, that's why I like you, Gary. You're such a funny. All right, man. So how you been doing, dude? I don't know when last time you were on the show. Like,
it was actually, I want to say, I did a Freestyle Friday probably about 6 or 7 months ago, maybe. I don't remember. Maybe it's about 6 months ago. But as a guest, I want to say it was right at a year ago.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like a year ago. I'd have to yeah, I believe you're right. But man, I feel like you were just like on a Freestyle Friday like not that long ago.
Oh, you
Man.
know what? I think I might have popped in maybe like a month or two ago, possibly, for just a short while.
I do think you did, man. I think may have even been like the Christmas episode or something. Because I know
Oh,
you
you know
were
what it
home.
was? No, it was. It was like the last one of the year. That's right. It was right. I was still at home. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right before you went to your daughters, I believe. Yes.
hmm
Yeah. Fucking hey, man. Well, before we get into it, how you been, man? How's 2026 treating you so bad? And where are you at right now?
I'm currently in Joplin, Missouri. I'll be here for the weekend, just kind of hanging out, and then I load up on Monday. So just doing a damn thing, man. Everything's been fantastic. Truly blessed, and couldn't ask for anything better.
Where you where you loading up at? Where you going to? And what you hauling, if you could say.
That's stuff I really can't talk about. I mean, I can post videos and stuff, but I can't disclose what it's for, where it's at, or coming from and going to.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Man, fucking Gary over here, top secret agent, man. You know what I mean? That's what
Super secret squirrel shit.
That's what I should have put your intro in. That's what I should have put song had secret agent, man.
Secret agent man of the only freight world, right?
Yeah, dude. Yes. Oh man, it's fucking awesome. All right, brother. So we're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff, man. But before we do, we're going to give the folks that don't know who you are, that are new to the show, a chance to understand who you are, what you do, how you do it, and why we consider you, in our humble opinion, one of the best that does it. So who is Gary, and how did you become the hustler with Hustler Heavy Haul?
So it's really just a simple story. I'm a third generation driver. I think I shared a little bit about it the other day on my LinkedIn. Grandfather was instrumental and pivotal in the West for cross docking, one of the pioneers of it, LTL, things of that nature. Had major contracts with Procter and Gamble, Johnson and Johnson, and just flourished his company there. I mean, he's one of the first companies to start lumping, to have a lumping company. He had 3 different companies in one. So growing up on the truck docks and out on the road, that's all I ever wanted to do. We all have dreams and aspirations of, well, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, and a lot of that stuff never sticks. But I think when a young boy decides he wants to be a trucker, it sticks. Or drive heavy equipment, or work in a trade, and it did. That work ethic. And I remember being on the truck docks and lumping huge bags of mustard seed, and my grandfather calling me a little hustler. That became my CB handle, and it's been that ever since. Because you can't just give yourself a CB handle. It's got to be given to you, right? So that was given to me, and the name just stuck. And I knew when I started a company, it was going to be Hustler Heavy Haul. And I've been an owner operator for several years, usually leased under somebody else. And I had enough of that BS and said, no, I'm done with that. We're going to flourish on our own. We're going to chase the dream and not our competition.
Awesome. And now you're killing it over there, super secret agent, man.
I don't know about killing it, but we are certainly doing our best.
Gary,
if you're surviving, you're killing it.
I'm gonna reach to the screen right now. Can we play this intro video again real quick? I mean, killing it. Let's just look at that truck. I mean, if that's not killing it, Gary, I mean, we have different definitions of at what level we start killing it at.
All right, that's a fair assessment.
All right, man. So we see we tell us how what brought you in a truck and everything. I actually just saw that post about your grandpa the other day, and that you have his jacket framed in shadow box stuff at your house and everything. Super freaking cool stuff. Really great to hear that stuff. Another good person with a great backstory. Lombard's family has one. Matt Leffler's family has a similar story as yours. So love that multi-generational stuff. But why heavy haul, Gary? How did we get into that, man? Did you just get your CDL and say, boom, this is what I'm gonna do, or what?
It wasn't heavy haul at start because, like I said, growing up in a box jockey family, if you will, um, I'm the only one that went open deck. And one of the things that my grandfather always taught me is you have got to evolve with this industry. And I thought, well, they never evolved. He evolved with going LTL, starting a lumping business, and having his trucks and all that. But my uncles never evolved. They listened, but they never applied, right? So they unfortunately were not very good businessmen and failed at almost every venture that they went after. And I thought, well, why not be different and go open deck? So I started just like with anybody else on a flatbed, flatbed from step deck to RGN to start adding axles from there. But I knew that if I was going to get to heavy haul, which was my initial dream, you have to start on a flatbed. You can't just jump into this, whether it's equipment or buildings or it doesn't matter what you haul. You can't just jump into it. People want to believe that they can, and they do their best, and then they hit a bridge or they go off route or something horrific happens, and then they go, well, crap, I don't know why that happened, and they can't process why. Well, they don't have the experience. So that's what led me there, was starting on those truck docks, wanting to evolve with my life and take myself where my family had never gone. And heavy haul was where that. You have such a sense of pride that you get from moving big shit as a relocation specialist from one place to another. Once upon a time, I used to haul glass. Let me tell you about a sense of pride. Moving glass from one location to the other without shattering it makes you a much better driver in the long run.
You gotta know where every bump on that road is.
You really do. You literally know where and that is the most craziest thing, that you know every single pothole in the entire nation. You know what truck stops you can go into, what truck stops you can't go into because it can snap the glass. But that played an instrumental role in my heavy haul, because it makes you a better driver in the long run. And you know what roads you can go down and what roads you can't without damaging the product, no matter what it is. So it's that evolution that you chase. And then you continue to add axles and you continue to get bigger trailers. You go into things like Feynmanvilles, or you get, you can go into wind energy, you get double snobbles, you can get perimeters, you just keep going. And then you get to a spot where you're like, say, Omega Morgan, and you're moving a 2 million pound transformer on umpteen axles that takes, 2 or 3 pull trucks and 4 push trucks.
That's insane. I've seen things like online doing. I mean, It's insane when you think about that.
Correct. And there is a considerable amount of companies out there that are doing that stuff right now, and I hold them in the highest regard. No matter, and that's the other thing that I was taught. I don't care how good you think you are. You can always get better. You will always have the ability to learn. If you think you know it all, shut your truck off, hang your keys up, and you're done. Go find something else to do. That's what I was taught. I assure you, gentlemen, every single day I learn something new in this industry. Every day.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got into a buddy of mine actually has been doing heavy haul for the last like 3 years, and him and another friend, they're working on this heavy haul project, and they've looped me in on it for other transportation information, not necessarily around heavy haul, but I've learned so much, over the last, year or so talking with them and just the stuff. And I mean, it's crazy. Like my logistics company moves containers, right? I mean, my boxes are 2 different sizes, right? I mean, yeah, the weight of it could be different, but the stuff that you see on, these heavy haul, these trailers, and that you guys are moving around, and, the strategic of having to go down a certain road and move around, traffic lights because a certain way, because they're a certain height, if whatever. I mean, it's just, and the width of some of these things. I mean, it's insane.
That's correct. You have to diagonal stoplights so you don't, take them out. Or if you encounter a railroad track because they sent you that way, can you raise up your trailer tall enough to get across it? or do you just get shut down right there and have to find a different route? There are so many different obstacles that we have to take care of just to get somewhere, and even that may even mean opposing traffic. I can tell you, Officer Eddie in Houston is one of my most trusted officers that I utilize when I'm down there. Him and his all of his biker guys that are all former Houston police or current Houston police, and we utilize them. They're amazing. They will go shut down an entire road, and run you wrong way for 5 miles if they have to, just to clear you under bridges. And mind you, that isn't always technically on route, but they know what's going to get you there safer, even if it's considered off route. And that happens every single day. And anybody who tells you different is a liar. Not just with them. I'm just saying, a lot of times officers will have the discretion to take you off route if they know it's going to put you into a dangerous situation.
Oh, here's Gary. Sorry to cut you off before we move on. This guy right here says,
so that's actually my dude. That's actually the guy I was just telling you about.
All right, he said, as an owner operator in heavy haul. Well, actually, Steve, you go ahead and read it then.
No, go ahead. You're good. You're good, okay. Man. You're good. You got the voice.
No, yeah, right. Let me tell you. As an owner operator in heavy haul, what's the top 2 to 3 things to consider with getting consistent loads compared to other segments? I guess he means other types of freight, van, reefer, all that stuff.
So we talked about this on the first show a year ago. Number 1 is relationships. If you want consistent freight, you better have those relationships. And I'm not talking about a relationship where you're giving somebody a kickback because they're giving you a load. Spend time with that person, whether it's an agent or a shipper. Go talk to them about their family. Talk to them about their day-to-day life. It doesn't always have to be about trucking. Show them that you care, and show up and show out. And when I mean show out, put your best foot forward. A lot of drivers, especially in heavy haul, love to show up at a shipper, and then they do this. They give the shipper nothing but lip service. They don't want that. If I could tell anybody anything in all the years that I've been doing this, don't do that. You're not going to get consistent freight if you do that, because they don't want to hear it. You are there to pick up their product and get it out of there safely and get it where it needs to go. Make the phone calls. Whether they're a cold call or not, find different ways to market yourself. Do for them what nobody else is going to do. I have a team of partner carriers that I bring with me regularly to several projects, including my own company growing. I could tell you for certainty in almost 5 years, we've never had a claim, ever. Not a thing. Not even for $5. Why? Because we bring to the table high-level operators and white glove service. We are giving what others can't. There are, and I don't know how many are watching this, but there are mega companies out there that can't offer that. And I'll tell you why. The drivers don't care. And then they'll broker it out. They'll broker those loads out to whoever they can get, even at the lowest cost. And those drivers don't care. And they cannot provide what most owner operators can. That's your key to consistent freight. Make yourself irreplaceable.
Now, do you find yourself finding these better with direct customers relations, or is there still that need even in heavy haul for brokers?
There's a huge need for agents and brokers in heavy haul. Huge.
Okay.
Now, do I have some direct stuff? Absolutely. But I do a vast majority of stuff through agents. And, people talk about transparency this and transparency that. I know what my agents make. I know because they show me. I don't even ask them, hey, this is what I'm making off this. Dude, good for you. If I tell you I need $50,000 to move that piece, and you told your customer 100, good for you. You just made 50 grand. I don't give a shit. I'm getting what I asked for. But I'll also tell you, most of my agents are going anywhere between 7 and 18%, depending on the piece. They never really go above that.
That's still a lot of freaking money, though, Gary. I know what some of the stuff you moved.
It is.
With.
It is.
Like,
it is. But if the load, money. But on the backside of that, if an agent bids a load at $100,000 and only gives me 50, and I ask for more, and I find out later, then I'm probably going to show up at your door and we're going to have a conversation, because to me, that's unethical. Don't be a douche canoe.
But if he comes to you, gets you to bid it, adds his 7, 10, 15% to that, that's the difference. And we talk about that on load boards and all kind, or on forums and stuff. You hear people complain about brokers and all that stuff. And I've always said, nobody's holding a gun to your head telling you you have to do that for the broker. You got to know your own worth when you bid these loads and run them. Now, in your case, right, if they're in that particular instance, like you just said, if they're going after you and, really pushing the needle to be like, hey, I need you at this, I need you at this price. And then you find out afterwards, then you just don't work with the guy again. But
so I get DMs daily from agents and brokers. And I say agents because to me, an agent is somebody who has their own authority. A broker is somebody who works for, let's say, call it TQL, right? To me, there's a huge difference. And at least just that's my personal opinion. But I get people DMing me daily, asking me to, hey, can I give them a consultation? Can I teach them how to do this? And then also, where do you get your loads? Do you work them? Get them off the load board? And I try to tell people, I don't utilize load boards. I've got relationships. And then when people ask me for a consultation, well, can you teach me how to bid this or do that? And I don't mind doing that stuff, but consultation also comes with a fee. Mm-hmm. And typically when I mention, look, I will come to your office and I'll teach you how to do that, but there's going to be a fee attached. If I step out of this truck to go to your office, it's costly to me. That's what consulting is. And once I mention the money factor, like a fart in the wind, they're gone.
Oh yeah, yep. Where'd that person go?
Right, and it lets me know that they're not serious about it, or people just see the money and they don't give a shit about the heart that's involved that comes with it. You have to have heart to do this. If you don't, you're going to fail. You have to have heart. I don't care who you are. And you're going to fail miserably, not business-wise, but you're going to damage some product. You're going to hit a bridge. You're going to flip over anything. Or you're not going to be paying attention when somebody's coming on a 2-lane and you're going to be too far over and you're going to put, let's call it the corner of a building into somebody's windshield. You don't have the heart to care for that. You're going to fail.
Mm-hmm.
But that's to answer that question. That's what I would say is, chase down the customer, make those phone calls, be passionate about what you do. And when you do, the work speaks for itself. The work will come. When your work ethic and your background and your morals speak for itself, the work comes. I have one particular customer that is direct, and the only reason he will work with me and not anybody else is because I won't put up with anybody's shit. I'm a no-nonsense guy, and he knows it's just once it goes on the truck, he stresses while everything's being built until it goes on my truck or one of my partner carriers' trucks. And he knows it's safe from A to B. And he never has to worry about it again. Gentlemen, that is an amazing feeling. I'm not the best at this. There are a lot of people who are better, but I feel like I've got a pretty good running game of keeping things safe. And I'm very blessed with that.
I think what you're saying there, the work speaks for itself. That's just everything in life, but we'll keep this
correct.
Logistics here, but I think it's any role that you play in this industry, and any type of equipment you drive, whether you're a van driver, you pull a van or a reefer or flat or a heavy haul like Gary, whatever. I think all brokers out there can say that they have carriers that they love freaking working with because of their work ethic. Like me, I'm the kind of guy, my favorite type of carrier is I just like to tell you what you need to do, give you everything that you need with clear instructions, and then you just go do it, and then you tell me when it's done. That's what I do, because I like to hire people. Well, he'll be back in a minute. I like to hire people who
the Secret Service customer decided he might have been talking about something he shouldn't have been, so they cut him off.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to look at any comments, and I always forget when you do that. It throws you out.
No, it's because everyone always hits the back button. You have to hit the X at the top of the screen
Gotcha.
when you do it. Yeah, I still do that crap, man, when I'm on the phone. So, as I was saying, I have carriers. Everyone has carriers that they love dealing with because they're good at what they do. You give them a load or a mission, and they just take care of it. You don't have to worry about them being there. You don't have to worry about the freight getting damaged. You don't have to worry about them getting to where it's supposed to be on time. Nothing. All you have to worry about is how long is it going to be after I know they're empty before they're going to send me this POD so we can both get paid.
And I've had people ask me, well, why don't you ever tag your agents and thank them for the work? And my answer is very, very simple for this. And some folks will view this as an insecurity or whatever, but it's not by any means. I don't tag them out of respect for them. They personally don't want their phone blown up by 10,000 people because they've seen work being moved and their name attached to it. They didn't decide to go out and make those calls or find out who they were on their own. So therefore they've asked not to be tagged in those things because they don't want those phone calls. If you want the work, you've got to go find it. This stuff doesn't just fall in our laps. Whether van freight, heavy haul, tanker, cow hauling, it doesn't matter. You have to go get those accounts. It doesn't just fall. You have to. So you'll see a lot of people say that, well, you're just insecure. I assure you, I am not. I am probably one of the most confident men you'll probably ever meet in your life. I've got nothing to be insecure about, which is great.
Damn, and it came and went that quick. Fuck, what was about?
Speaking of poof,
I know, bro, dude. Literally, as soon as I opened my mouth, it was gone, bro.
That comes with age, brother. Just so you know.
No, that comes with having a traumatic brain injury, but age too. Yes. I don't know what Beach means by this. Maybe they can explain or expand the comment a little more. Hey, hustler, you got room for a few tools in your truck?
For what?
Few tools in your truck. I don't know. I guess they're asking, few tools. Tools. I guess. I don't understand.
As I say, a buddy of mine, just tell him yes.
There you go. Beach.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
There you go.
He's
He's actually in town. I got a couple of my partner carriers are in town. We're loading up this over on Monday.
Another question from Mr. B Math 1000. What's your advice for an owner operator to decide if they should build their book of business direct to customer versus through brokers / broker agents? Which route is better and why? Man, I like this guy. We got to get this guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's kind of a mixed bag, and I'll tell you why. Yes, you can have great relationships with the direct customer, but with great power comes great responsibility, right? So when you're working with a direct customer, you've got a lot of back office paperwork that you got to do. And if as a single owner operator, if you don't want that headache, then you're going to be better off building your relationships with your agents and your brokerages. Let them do the paperwork. Let them have that headache. You worry about the stuff that you got to take care of out on the road. Because we all have our own back office stuff that we still got to do. Compliance, taxes. I mean, there's a slew of things that we got to do. Now add in the paperwork and the billing and chasing down the money. Because that's another big thing about being a single owner operator or being maybe even a 5 truck or 10 truck, company. I will always factor everything. Always. Number one, it's a write-off. Okay. Yep. That's first and foremost. Number two, I am not chasing somebody down for money. Period. I want my money within 48 hours. The job's done. I'm not waiting 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year. I'm not going that route. That's the smartest thing you could ever do for yourself. Get a factoring company you trust and stick with it and build your business based off of if you want the headache of a direct shipper or if you want and I don't mean that they're all a headache. I meant the back office paperwork stuff. Because there's a lot. If you're a single owner operator and you're in this driver's seat, when you get done, you're only done driving. You're in the back on the laptop doing everything else.
Yep.
You know, so if you have the relationship, and a lot of people say, well, brokers are just keeping too much money. Well, let's circle back to what I just said. Give the amount that you can work for. Give the amount that you'll do the load for. You're not going to get it. You're not always going to get that. But when you do, then you make your money. Don't take yourself below your cost either. You take yourself below your cost, all you're doing is running for cash flow, and you're breaking even or you're way below even. That's the biggest mistake people are making for the past 7 to 10 years. They're just running for cash flow. Like equipment, to me, equipment is cash flow. You're just, and you're going to make money by volume, but you're not going to make money as a single 1 or 2 or 3 truck owner operator. And if you are, you better be on some damn big specialized equipment. The more specialized you are, the less others can touch you.
Now, is there like I think about like in drayage world, right? There's chassis pools where you can rent chassis and do stuff like that. Like when you look at like what type of equipment do you own, and what is there like an avenue where you can rent certain equipment if you want to get something to haul that you don't have the equipment for?
Yes, you can. You can rent equipment from Iloka out of Chicago area. You could rent equipment from any hail brake trailer and wheel in the country, and they've got some damn big trailers. Now it's going to be costly. You can go rent one and try it out, see if you like it, see if you want to go spend the money. You want a Faymanville Street Max? $1.1 million. Okay, that's for a 343 full steer. That's for a 343 full steerable, and that was 6 months ago. It's probably gone up in price now from even then. That's just that trailer. I mean,
and
you
Gary's got 4.
I fucking wish. Yeah, trust me, I wish. Yeah. You want a perimeter? They're going anywhere. If you could buy a used one for $600,000-$700,000.
What's a perimeter?
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, what's a perimeter?
A perimeter trailer is a basket style trailer with a frame that you set the product inside of it instead of on top of it. It brings it A, lower to the ground, and B, protects the product. So you'll see a lot of gen sets, a lot of buildings, a lot of tanks, vessels. They'll sit inside of perimeters. They can go out super wide, go out super long. A lot of huge companies have those, and they're great trailers. But those can range all the way up to $2 million or more, depending on how many. How far it stretches out, or how, length or width, or how many axles you're going to put underneath it. So
is that like an RGN on steroids, or is it totally different?
No, it does. It's not an RGN. So it's got basically like a Jeep behind it in a way on a power tower. And then you've got a converter dolly, or not converter dolly. You got a steerable dolly in the rear that sits on a tower. And you can move that tower up and down for height or to get it lower, all the way down as low as 6 to 8 inches off the ground or lower. And the product sits inside of it on steel beams.
Oh wow!
And so if you can look up. I mean, go to Nathan with Barco. They've got a bunch of perimeters. They do amazing work. There are so many people in this industry that I hold at a high respect for the things that they do. But these trailers, they're not cheap. But you can absolutely go rent.
Crap.
You can go rent Faymanvilles and Goldhoffers and trailers like that. And because and that, like I said, that's to try it out. But you're going to pay the price to rent them, and you're going to pay the price to own them. But they're also expensive to own. Right? It takes a lot of maintenance. You got to take care of it. If you want to go that route, and this is what I tell everybody, don't buy any equipment, period, unless you've got the work for it. I don't care who you are. If you start throwing things at the wall to see what sticks, it's going to slide off like a wet spaghetti noodle, and you're going to find yourself $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in debt. But yes, you can rent. There's no cookie cutter trailer for heavy haul. Every job, every project has its own application.
That's what I was.
That's a diamond perimeter right there, I do believe. That's a baby perimeter. That's a small one.
Pull up that yellow one in the top left corner. That's one I just had up a second ago. Yeah, that thing was sick.
God, that thing is now. Yeah, that's what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 axle on
6 on the
7,
back
8,
and then 3 on the
9,
front.
9. So nine axle.
Yeah, it's a 13 axle setup there. So, yeah, that's real. I had to zoom in, so if my hand's in the way, I apologize. But so see how narrow it is.
Yeah.
Then you can get frames that go on the end of inside of that expand out.
I was trying to get a bigger picture of
Oh,
it.
that's Northwest Heavy Haul out of Oklahoma. Yeah, those guys have a lot of cool shit.
That's a massive freaking trailer, dude. Holy crap.
Transmaster and Trail King, those guys make massive perimeters as well.
What do you have, Gary? What is your primary trailer that you use a majority of the time?
I'm an 8-axle setup. It's a super stretch. I can stretch out to 60 foot in the well. When it's closed up, it's 34 foot. But I have this trailer. I'm purchasing another one just like it here coming up very soon. And then to talk about things in the works, I've got a really large trailer coming. Hopefully mid-July is current land date for that, which is one of the reasons I purchased this truck to pull those heavier loads.
What's your max weight that you pull with the trailer you have now?
I mean, I can put 90,000 on the deck of this trailer. So I would be maxed out. I'd be maxed out on this trailer, gross trailer combination and building 160,000.
I mean, that sounds like a lot, but it's funny.
That is a lot. That doesn't sound like a lot.
I mean, no. I was saying no, just let me say this. It sounds like a lot until you talk to our buddy Miles down in Australia, who that's just like every
they pull the trains
every day. No, he's not even a train. It's like every day to him. I think he says he pulls. It's like 130,000 pounds is his his daily average of what he pulls. He pulls a specialized trailer. It's not heavy haul or whatever. But anyway, that's why I say it sounds like a lot. But like in other countries, they pull regularly a hell of a lot of weight. But still, that is a lot of weight, 106,000. And the size of your stuff, man. Like, oh my god, dude, it's just absolutely nuts.
I've got some loads that'll be coming up probably mid-year. That'll be right at about 130,000 pounds.
Yeah, nuts. So, Gary, let's get to back kind of talking. What all it is. That you do. That I guess. I mean, I would say is in ways different than a normal driver. But what I mean with that is, how involved are you, Gary, with all the planning that goes into the movement of these things? The typical driver, well, they'll plan their route. Hey, I'm picking up here. I need to take these roads. Blase, blase, blase. I want to stop here. But what is that like for you? You say you work with a lot of agents and some direct customers as well. So do they do that and you take their word for it? Do you do it and they take your word for it? How does that stuff work for you on your end?
When it comes to project building, I'm that guy. I take care of everything. I take care of the routing, whether it be a route survey or just normal heavy haul routes that we would take at certain sizes. And I will typically pass those down to guys, and they'll even give their input as well. Hey, you know what? I know that this is going on here. We're going to have to route around that. So I entrust them as well. But we, from start to finish, it becomes a team effort. But I'll start off the initial of mapping everything out and figuring out what truck's going in where. If the building that we're hauling has a serial number, stuff has to go in an order, and that's another part of it. You get drivers that'll go, well, I got here 3 days before you did. Why are you getting unloaded first? Well, that's because the serial number that I have goes on the job site first, but yours was near the door, so they loaded you and you got here before I did. So that's like another aspect of it, right? You have to keep that composure. You have to understand that just because you don't see what's happening behind the scenes doesn't mean that it's not the gospel, right? You have to adhere to that. So you really have to be mindful of the whole picture from start to finish. And that's where the project management, the driver management, the logistical end of it, from from loading to unloading to on the road, where you're going to park, where are you going to fit, where are you going to get fuel. Not a lot of these truck stops can get fuel. So I'm very instrumental in pegging a lot of those areas and telling the guys, this is what we're going to do. And then as for outlay, I give that to my customers and they go, okay, great. You've got a plan.
So
That's what they love.
The announcement comes over the speaker at the pilot telling everybody they have to get out of the parking lot because Gary's pulling in and he needs fuel.
Very seldom will I ever do that. My parking locations are typically TAs, Petros, and some mom pops, because those are the ones that have the large areas. The Loves, the Pilots, the Flying Jays, they don't want us there. They don't want us there. A modern day travel center is built for the everyday box jockey, the cookie cutter trucks. Get in, get out, get off. Period.
Come in, get a hot dog, and leave.
Right. Get your roller dog and out you go. But you can get your roller dog behind, the 30,000 people that come in their vehicles and their tour buses too. Mm-hmm. So that's what the modern day travel center has become. And now, and this has become a sore subject, now the Petros and the TAs are starting to put their crossbars in, and you can only go in there at some of them 10 to maybe 11 to 12 foot wide. So no longer can you even do that. This country severely lacks from over-dimensional and heavy haul parking.
Well, because the way they see it, Gary, is you're taking up 4 spots, bro. That's 4 customers that could be in that. I mean, it sucks to say, but I mean,
that depends.
That
depends. If you're pulling into a paid parking spot, you have to pay for all those spots, and often we do.
I understand that. Yeah.
So you're still satisfying them. Yeah. If you back into a double spot, you got to pay for both those spots. And even on the TA app, it'll say, bobtail, regular load, or oversize. And oversize tells you minimum 2 spots, and they'll come check. But yeah, they don't want us there, so we have to plan that route every single trip, because every trip is always different. The state doesn't always give you the same route.
And you got to really plan around fuel and where you're going to be able to pull in.
Correct.
What's the fuel stuff look like for you, Gary? I mean, I've seen, like, all the most heavy haul stuff I've seen, they either just pull in and kind of, if they can, drop their stuff, off to the side, bobtail in the fuel lane. But I mean, I've talked to some other guys. They literally had to drop loads like 10 miles down the road because they were so big.
Bingo.
Bobtail in and then come back. I've met one guy at a truck show that all he does is long distance heavy haul. Like he takes stuff from the West Coast to the East Coast and back. That's all he does. And for half of the trip, part of the company that he pulls for, they literally pay for a fuel truck out west
to come
because the stops are so far between. They don't want to risk it, so they literally pay for a fuel truck, bro, to follow this guy for like 1,000 miles. It's fucking
a lot of people do that, and a lot of the pilot cars, they'll have reserve tanks in their pickup trucks, and they're full of diesel for that reason, and they'll sell the diesel to the company. I mean, I've gone 45 to 50 miles just to go get fuel. And then you turn around and come back. And that's not due to lack of planning. That's due to lack of, you got no place to pull over and park. You just don't.
Can't just dump it on the side of the highway and pull off an exit.
I mean, listen, we've done that. We've not gone 40, 50 miles, but you'll hit an off ramp. I'll drop the load at the bottom of an off ramp, and my pilot cars will stay with it. I'll go get fuel, come back, hook up, then they'll go get fuel. Because when you unhook, the lights go off unless you have a battery hooked up which some trailers you could hook a battery to keep all your lights going, but that way the load stays safe with cars with it, and it's still got flashies on it, right? So then I get back, I hook up, they go get fuel, and then we get going. It becomes a 45-minute to an hour ordeal. So now that takes time off your e-log, which is why when you are overhaul or heavy haul and overdimensional, you are 30-minute break exempt.
I never knew that.
He'd probably, well, I mean, hell, he's done took 4 of them today. You know what I mean? Shit. Gary had to go poop, man. It took him an hour and a half. You know,
An hour and a
half. Only 10 minutes of that was on the toilet.
Hey, IBS is a real problem, gentlemen.
Oh man, oh, it's good stuff. All right, Gary. Quick little question, dude. I mean, kind of back onto the whole planning and stuff, man. You know, how long does it take you to plan these things on average? And you know, what's been the longest project so far that it's taken you to plan out and get completed?
We had a project that took a year and a half to complete because it was several data buildings. In the beginning, when I was handed the project to bid, it took me probably 4 weeks to plan how each load was going to go, how many trucks we were going to utilize, and then double them back to basically like a dedicated deal, but to different locations. How long it was going to take for tarping, untarping, loading, unloading, transit time, what route specifically we're going to take, and not just one specific route. They wanted 3 separate routes, 1 route and 2 contingencies, just in case. So I had to go through and plan that out. And that was one of the major playing factors that won me that bid. Certainly not because I was the cheapest. I was actually the most expensive, but I gave the most extensive outlook of what the project was going to look like. And between me and my partner carriers, over the course of a year and a half, we executed it flawlessly. Nothing was amiss. And I could bring those partner carriers on here and they will tell you the same thing. I assure you, and I don't want this by any means to any of the viewers in any of this, I don't want it to seem arrogant by any figment of imagination. We're only as good as the folks we have working with us. We're only as good as the execution that we put forth. If the execution and the high-level operative doesn't happen, this stuff doesn't happen. I am absolutely nothing without my team, period. And I will die on that hill. I will not ever ask them to do anything that I would not do myself. And I sure shit won't put them in harm's way. But it's because of them is why I'm successful.
Well, you know,
surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, man. Let's keep on that track right there, because that really actually completely aligns with the next question I was going to ask. And you know, you talk about team, Gary, and you know, you mentioned working with brokers and agents, and you know, you said some pilot cars, some other things, but you know, what all is involved in the teams that you work with, you know? Because I mean, one would think one would think that, you know, it's more than just you and this broker agents, you know, all kinds of folks, law enforcement possibly, and stuff like that. So what do these teams consist of on these projects that you handle at this scope?
Define. You mean talking about just the carriers that I work with, or
the people involved? Because I would consider all that team, right? Like the pilot car people are part of your team. The person you have to get your permits from that helps you, that's part of your team. If law enforcement or the power companies involved to deal with power lines, that's part of your team for that project. So like, what does that on average look like for you, man?
It can get pretty entailed and extensive. You know, when you talk about working with a team from, if it's a bucket truck or law enforcement or your pilot cars, there is a sense of camaraderie that comes with that. Because if you don't like or you don't get along with the people you're working with, your team's going to fall to shit. Period. Because people they're not going to like you spouting off orders, no matter the capacity. And working with all of these guys, we have sat down and we have hand chosen the ones that we want to work with because of that high level operative, right? To name off a few for your viewers, so that if they want folks that they want to go work with, Pipeline Transport, JW Morgan, Max Transport, Obluski Trucking, Clark Transport, all of these guys, Ireland Transport, I couldn't do any of this without them. And when you talk about permit techs, when we define 1, 2, or 3 routes, and I'll share that with them, and we'll sit there and collaborate and try to figure out which ones are going to be the best ones. We all do our best because we don't all have the same permit tech. I'll order a set of permits, and I will send those permits out to them, and then their permit techs will essentially copy them with the states, and that way we all have the same route. Here's why. If we have 3 trucks loading in a day, and those 3 trucks leave together, say they're a half mile apart, so they're not technically convoying, if something happens, they have the ability to help out. Last year, I had 2 transmission failures. I'm sorry. Last year, I had a transmission failure. The year before, I had a transmission failure. In both instances, I had other drivers that could grab my load, get it to a safe haven while my truck got sent to a shop to get the transmission fixed. In one case, one buddy who was on the project took his load to Iowa, dropped it, came back, picked up my load, took it to site while I was in the shop. Everything got delivered. They decked my trailer on his, brought it back to me, and my truck was done about a day after they brought my trailer. We hired a wrecker, we unloaded my trailer, boom, on to the next load. So that's the part of working together and moving 2 or 3 trucks at once, so that if something happens, you've got another truck as a backup to get that trailer to a safe haven, because you don't want one of these buildings being pulled by a wrecker with your truck attached. They don't necessarily know what they're doing. Do they do big stuff? Sure they do, but it's not something I'm going to technically trust. I'd rather have my guys with me, and that's part of the planning. That all takes time. It's a chess move.
Well, and you got like cities and stuff in certain states where like super loads, big heavy loads like that, like you can't go through during certain hours too, that you need to know.
That is correct. You have curfew.
Like curfew times, or some of them you can't do after dark and stuff like that.
Curfew times typically will run from either 6 to 9 a.m. or 7 to 9 a.m. and either 3 to 6 p.m. or 4 to 6 p.m. in most major cities. That's your curfew time. You go through there at those times in those specific cities, and you are begging to have your ass handed to you by DOT. And those fines are not pretty, because here's what's going to happen. Number one, they're going to yank your permit. The second they yank your permit, let's just say for shits and grins, I'm 150,000 pounds. Once they yank your permit, you're no longer permitted to be on that highway or that back road. Okay. Now they have the ability to fine you for not having a permit because they yanked it. They voided it. They have the ability to take you back to 80,000 pounds and charge you for every pound you're over. Then you're on a non-permitted route. Now you got another ticket. You can have up to 7 to 10 tickets in one instance. And they will bring the scales out and they will weigh every single axle. It's not cheap. So it's not worth it. You just sit put, wait till the time's up, and then you go.
Man, yeah. It's like definitely a lot that, I mean, goes without saying, it's a lot that goes into to what you do, brother. I mean, and you I guess we'll move into this part, and then I want to finish talking about the truck and what Gary's got going on for the rest of the year. So, all right, obviously a lot goes into what you do, but Gary, is your friend, man. Someone talks to you on what I feel is a pretty damn consistent basis, several damn times a week. We talk a lot about, man, share a lot of fucking jokes, me, you, and Jake, and memes and stuff, and talk about the shitty drivers and stuff that you deal with. Even Jake, that he deals with is in his industry and parts and stuff, man. So, what is that? What is the the bad people on your end look like? You know, I mean, do you deal with the stuff that we deal with on traditional freight, you know, as far as like, you know, people just, you know, not understanding how to handle a truck, not knowing what they're doing, you know, the improper licensed people, the double brokering, like what does those things look like for you guys over there? And how do you deal with that, Gary, you know, to make sure you're not a victim of any of that stuff, or no one slips in on your team or a load that you may be dealing with that, you know, could be a fucking problem for you?
I'll start with this. Folks who try to slip in on the work and try to take the work from either myself or my partner carriers, 10 out of 10 times, those agents or direct carriers that I work with, I have seen the emails and they have been told to go pound sand, because they're not going to provide even at the cheapest rate possible. They're not going to provide what we're providing. Okay. That's number one. No matter a large company, small company, or even, because of the sake of conversation, the foreign entities, there are so many that are cutting corners to save a buck, whether it be running at night, not getting the correct pilot cars, not getting the appropriate permits, or even getting a permit at all, or buying equipment that literally falls apart. I was at a shipper, and I believe I made a video about this.
I was going to ask about this.
Man, let me tell you what that caused. It caused a lot of pain for them, and I warned them. That night, I warned them. I even went as far as calling Kansas Department of Transportation and Highway Patrol and begged them to come out, because they put a 113,000-pound building on a 55-ton trailer, fully stretched. That thing was sitting on the ground. They ripped it when they left the next day, because nobody ever showed up and the shipper didn't care. When they left, they ripped down half the power lines in town, got just a few miles outside of town, and the trailers snapped. I got a phone call a day or two later from that Kansas City Highway Patrol, or not Kansas City, Kansas Highway Patrol, apologizing to me because they fucked up. It caused them so much grief. Had they just showed up and weighed that load, it never would have left the lot, because you cannot axle that on 8 axles.
Dude,
and the fact that it was sitting on the ground.
I remember that like in the photo you did, it literally, you could see the frame like bowed where it was.
It was negative. It was
yes.
negative camber, just like that. So get this. This is the best part. That load was every bit of 17 and a half to 18 foot tall. Okay, it was going from here to this, from this area to New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Let me tell you what entails going to New Hampshire at that tall. Not the $35,000 they bid to go there. I can assure you that. That doesn't even scratch a surface. Okay. When that trailer busted, it also busted the building. So it cost the company millions of dollars to fix that load. Those two loads sat there for 3.5 months, costing their end customer millions of dollars, because it was supposed to be there already. And at the end of the day, they finally got the trailer right, and they finally got it moved, and it wasn't nowhere near $30,000. But it cost them millions, when all their shipping manager had to do was listen to me. I begged them all. I had the proof. They didn't want to hear it. It had to go.
It's crazy to hear, Gary, that that's the thing with you, that y'all deal with shippers on your side. You know, Jeff Dickinson's on the show a lot, and he worked as a shipper, and he talks a lot about how we could solve so many problems with double brokering, people not having the proper equipment. In example, like with a reefer, I had a guy show up to a load the other day. It was supposed to be -20. His reefer wouldn't go below 0. And the only reason we found out is because that particular shipper just so happens to do a reefer log check before they load any product on the truck. So, it's crazy that you guys do that same thing. You would want to say that, would think that dealing with stuff that you guys do, that these shippers would go out there and check every single bit of this. Show me all of your permits. Show me your route. I want the names of all the companies that you're using for pilot cars. I want all the names of the companies, everything that you're doing to move this piece of equipment, building, whatever it is. You think they'd want to know every single detail of that?
I will tell you this, and this is for every single person listening. If you're an agent or your broker or your direct shipper, you want somebody to move your big shit, vet them properly, and this is how you vet them properly, in my opinion. I'm not just talking about utilizing highway or, you know, freight fraud or whoever all these companies are. Ask them for pictures of their equipment. What are they using? I want to see a picture of the truck. I want to see a picture of the trailer. And that better be the truck and trailer that shows up. And if it ain't, there better be a replacement picture of the one that's going to, just because you say, oh, well, that one's in the shop. Vet them properly. Ask them for the permits. I want to know the route you're taking. Then you need to look at those permits and see if they're permitted for the correct weight and the correct dimensions. Period. Because there are, like I told you, there's a lot of people that want to save a buck and they'll put the wrong dimensions. Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, Oklahoma, all ton per mile states. You think somebody wants to put on there that they're hauling 200,000 pounds and they get charged $3,000 for permit when they could just put 105,000 pounds and only pay $400 or $500? Think about that. Do the correct vetting. Don't put your, if you see a picture of a truck and the step is ratchet strapped up, holding on, I don't give a shit if it's got 4 axles or not. Don't let that truck go in there. You know what? Have a good day. Your equipment looks pretty shady. I'm cool. You know, if the trailer looks, if the wagon looks rusted out, don't send it in there. I'm not saying buy new equipment, but by God, take care of it. I wash each one of my trucks at least once a week. That's 52 washes a year. There's no reason. My truck, don't get me wrong, my truck is trashed right now. Purple Rain is trashed. But come morning time, this truck's getting washed. Because I'm not going to show up dirty. There's no reason to. Now, you may show up at the shipper or the receiver and consignee dirty. You can't exactly go into a truck. You can take the truck, you can disconnect the truck, but you're not going to get an oversized load through there, right? So do that vetting properly. Ask for all that stuff. And when the truck shows up and you ask for a picture of the truck there, or you ask the shipper, hey, what truck is there? And it's not the same one, put it in your clause. You have every right to kick them off that project because maybe they double brokered it out. Or maybe they're lying and that was some truck that they found off the internet just to get the work. Gentlemen, what you see with me is what you get. I'm very outspoken. You're 100% going to get what I tell you I'm going to do from start to finish. You can have links to my location. I don't give a shit. Call me. I don't care. Call me 10 times a day. I'm going to answer the phone and say, yep, I'm doing fine. I'm at this mall marker. Have a good day. Bye. I don't care. And people who talk about that, oh, well, I don't want to, brokers don't need to call me 10 times a day. Okay, cool. Send them a link from your e-log. They can track you.
No, I don't want to do that either.
What's that?
And then they come back with, no, I don't want to do that either. They're going to spy on me. I don't want
to. They're chicken
Yeah.
shit. That's why.
Hiding.
I don't care. These are the things that carriers and agents and brokers should be doing. Those are the proper ways to vet somebody. And if somebody doesn't believe in that, they got a difference of opinion. If they got a better way, please tell me. I told you guys, I learn something every day. That's just my opinion. If you called me tomorrow and said, what vehicles are you taking? What equipment are you taking? I'm going to send you pictures of it.
And Gary has plenty.
Right. What did somebody say the other day? I should be making, short story movies or some shit. Hey, I'm having fun with that Insta360 freaking camera. Like that's been a lot of fun.
Cool, man. Yeah, that thing's pretty neat. I saw a guy at a truck show using one of those, just filming content, and he was just showing me the videos, and I was like, damn, dude, that's pretty badass, like perspective and stuff, bro. It's pretty neat. So
put it low to the ground, put it high up, just make it unique. Give people something to be excited about. I can't. I mean, my whole thing is public. My whole LinkedIn is public. So I couldn't tell you how many people see it a day or who sees it. I mean, there could be multi-billion-dollar companies in the world that just see one video and go, okay, that's the guy I want moving my stuff. That's what that said. That's my marketing. You know, and not showing up dirty and making sure that their product shows up the right way. That's what they're getting. They're getting that white glove service. Why can't more people be like that? Or is it that they grow too big that they lose sight of why they started to begin with? That happens a lot.
Well, the customers and the carrier, or the customers and the shippers too, right? It's like when it's not expected, a lot of these carriers come in there and be like, you know, there's so much in this industry. And I've talked about this from the beginning when I got into it, because I worked in a corporate America job where customer service was, it was embedded in me forever. And when I came over to here, it was like the first time I started hearing, what's the cheapest rate I can get? What's the, it was like, can we stop for a second? Like, can we talk about customer service? Can we talk about what you're going to get? Yeah, my rate might be $100 more, $200 more, hell, even $1,000 more. I don't know. But can I tell you what you're going to get for this? Like, nobody wants to talk about that. It's all just, well, this guy's going to do it. To your point, back to the customer that ended up paying $1 million. Like, what are you getting for this? What are you saving when you're saving $100 or $50? I mean, we get brokers all the time. They'll question you. You'll quote them something about, oh, 25. Can you drop it down $25? Really? It's $25.
$25, really? Right. Well, give it congruency here. Look at the education system. They lower the bar. Kids are more retarded. They're not smart. If a shipper, consignee, or an agent does that, if they lower the bar, expect what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You're going to get the worst. Why? Because you wanted to make an extra $100. Was it worth the $5,000 it cost you? I've seen countless people talk about their failures. I've got plenty of them. I've eaten lots of costs, and whether maybe not bidding it right, and this is how you learn throughout the years. But if an agency doesn't want to lose tens of thousands of dollars, do better due diligence.
Yep.
Only work with a reputable company.
So my buddy Brandon's got another question here for you.
Sure.
For shippers who are coordinating from a central office for a regional or a regional shop, what's your recommendation for validating that carrier? People in the yard often aren't involved in the original order.
That's really going to be, I don't know how that would play out, because I don't work with a lot of folks that are in a centralized, location or office. Everything that we house and do is built around, I guess, the team effort. So when it's kind of when you're on a project where there's multi carriers that maybe, I'll give an example. Let's say Swift called me up, but they also called up 75 other people for a project, and they've got 75 individual owner operators. There's really no way to vet that, who's going to be there and what's going to happen, if I'm understanding the question correctly.
Yeah, and Pedro, you brought up Jeff a little bit ago, and I remember Jeff actually answering a question similar to this, and it's it's that regional office or that central office, right? There needs to be accountability to that regional office. That
Correct.
Person that's on site needs to get out there and validate this, right? So that they own a lot of that, and that was actually one of the things that was brought up. And I don't know how much I was going to ask. This was going to be one of my questions, because how much theft do you see in heavy haul in these type of crazy moves that you move? Like, to me, it seems like it'd be kind of hard to steal what you move, but is there theft? And is there a lot of theft in that?
If there is, I don't know any of. I've never, in all my years, I've never personally heard of any heavy haul theft other than stealing the equipment when it's empty.
Okay.
Not anything loaded. I mean, trucks get stolen daily. These trailers and trucks are stupid expensive. So yeah, they get stolen all the time. But I've never personally heard of somebody just hooking up to a load and taking off with it.
Yeah, you mentioned double
they would
broker.
pay for it.
You had mentioned double brokering earlier, so that's why I wasn't sure if there was times when something got double brokered, because we hear double brokering a lot. Is
usually theft is
a lot of times.
Yeah,
so.
right behind it.
You know, and I'll give another little bit of advice to the agents and the brokers out there, whether you're working for a big 3-letter company or you're working for yourself. If you've got a large project, let's say working with me and my guys, you can leave your office and bring your laptop with you. You could do some work from a hotel room. Get your ass out on the job site. Get your ass at that shipper. Watch how things go from start to finish. Be those boots on the ground, because you're not going to have a better understanding by sitting in your office staying warm. Get out there and learn it. Then you're going to understand why somebody charges what they do and why things go from A to B. You want to be a better agent and a better broker? Get on site. Bring your PPE. Like, please bring your PPE, because then you just look more dumb. And watch the inner workings of it from start to finish. How we shuffle the trucks, how we load, how we unload. You know, bring your grubby clothes, get down there and help us chain up. We'll show you how to chain up. Flag up a truck. You know, hell, you might even ride along for a few miles. I've said this before. Anybody is welcome to sit in that passenger seat. Come on, come for a ride. I got no problem with that. Not cuddling with you, but anybody.
Deals off. Man. I was just about to say, I'll come roll with deals off. No.
Anybody is welcome to come sit in that seat.
Pedro, I'm sending Ethan on a road trip with his camera.
Yeah. Ethan,
bring it.
Hey, Gary would end up feeding Ethan sleeping pills to get that boy to stop talking his damn ear off.
Nope, gentlemen. I used to be a driver trainer. I have had my ears talked off by the best of them.
Oh man, Ethan is his son. Is he
How old's your
17
son?
yet or 16?
Bring him. Let's go.
Dude,
Send him with a credit card. Send him with a credit card to pay for his hotels. I'll take care of his meals. Put his ass in his passenger seat. Let's go. He wants to get into this. Let's go. I'll teach him.
Yeah, he did a lap on the Atlanta Motor Speedway with a truck pulling an RGN, and the RGN had a
whose truck?
Truck Show Joe's.
Truck Show Joe. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he was in that he was passenger seat with Joe, Truck Show Joe, doing a lap around the Atlanta Motor Speedway at the
red, white, and whatever for Bennett.
Star Stripes and White Lines. Took me a second.
Yeah, Star Stripes and White Lines. Yeah.
Yeah, he would. He'd have a field day.
Hey, listen, I got no problem with that. I've got a passenger endorsement to bring people along. I pay for that. Jessica, the most amazing insurance agent. Absolutely love that woman. She takes very, very good care of me. Anybody who doesn't utilize her, they need to drop whoever they're using and go utilize her, because she takes care of every need from start to finish. And that is incredible, because not many people will tailor themselves to you like that.
That's right. Remember, when you call United Commercial Insurance, you say that you heard about it on the Logistics Lounge, so we can get our referral fee.
Right?
All right. Well, hey, before we get into talking about the truck, I actually, if I could, I would like to take a stab at what is it? Is it Brandon? Brennan? Is that his name? You told me his name.
B-Math. Yeah, it's Brandon.
Yeah. I'll take a stab at it, and I'll kind of just repeat, I guess, a lot of what Jeff says. So, like shippers, when it comes to, they're doing their part validating a carrier. And I deal with a lot of what he's talking about. Like, I deal with my nutrition customer. I deal with their head of transportation, who is in Georgia, but I pick up at facilities for them all throughout the country. So, like, even though she sends me all the orders, all the appointments and everything are set on Open Doc, and the person there, they're just, all they know is a fucking truck is showing up because they got an email saying a truck is showing up. You know what I mean? However, when I talk to her, one thing that I do with all of my customers, whether they ask for it or not, when I book a truck on them, I send them the carrier name, the driver's name, the truck number, and the trailer number. A, for just because you should do that, and B, so when they make the BOL, it doesn't have my information on it. Personally, like, as the broker, I mean, I don't like my information being on there. I like the carrier to be on there because that's who's carrying the load. That's the information that needs to be on there for it to truly be 100% accurate document. So I say that to say that if you're sending your customer your carrier name and they have that information, it's on the BOL, the easiest way to do is for whoever's loading that to check that BOL, and when that driver comes in or they go out to give that driver that paperwork, give them to sign it, they just check that that's the carrier who's there and make sure that the truck number matches, because all of this stuff is supposed to be on the BOL, the carrier name, the driver name. A lot of them ask for the truck and trailer number. It's honestly as simple as that. And so if places properly fill out BOLs and brokers, if you make sure, and most of us do get BOLs, even if the shipper is the one giving it to them, most of my shippers will include me on the email with the BOL in it. Check the damn thing. If you're the one making it, dude, make sure you make it accurate. And I think that's the best way to do it, honestly, is just make sure those BOLs are correct and get the people that are loading it to just simply check that stuff, man. I think that's the easiest thing. That's what Jeff says. That's what Jeff said. That's why he never, ever had an issue as a shipper, because everything he loaded, his guys and girls knew to go out to that truck and make sure that the truck they're putting that stuff on was the truck that stuff was supposed to be going on.
And it's so crazy, Pedro, because we've been in this business since January of 2022 is when we started hauling containers. And there has not been a single customer that has validated or verified that it's the correct tractor pulling. Now, some of them will check the container number, to verify it before they load it or unload it. But anybody can steal the container number. I mean, anybody.
And they wonder where fraud comes from.
Yeah. I mean, we've never had somebody validate, and ask me, hey, who's the driver that should be here, and validate his name, validate the truck that's there, the company that's even there. It's like I said, we'll get a handful of check the container number, but that's it. It's crazy.
I don't know if my shippers do it, but I do know that they all know what truck is coming in there, what carrier is coming in there. The BOLs, everything says it. So, I mean, we do our due diligence, you know what I mean? Knock on my multi-dimensional fiber board here, which is technically still wood. I've never been a victim of double brokering. So, except for one time, and actually caught it because the fucking driver was paying attention, which I think drivers are honestly like, you too are the number one defense between yourself and being double brokered. Just pay attention, man. Attention to detail, because there's always something missing. And you know what it usually is? The BOL. Because someone made the BOL right, and they did their job and put the correct information of the original carrier on it, but no one else was smart enough to pay attention to change that information. So, and that's what happened in my case. Carrier paid attention, said, hey, man, like, I brokered this with this person, but it says you're the broker on this. Right. I was like, dude, what a dumbass. You literally sent him the BOL that I made for you. That was so stupid that no brokered it. So, yeah. But, so there you go. I mean, that was a long thing, Brendan, whatever. But, that's my thing. I simply check the BOL, honestly, and make sure the information that goes on there's BOL, whether it's you making it or the shipper and stuff. So,
all right, let's talk about the truck now.
Yeah. Let me pull this thing up.
Now we're in 40 minutes, and I've been just wanting to talk about the truck.
Yeah. I should have downloaded pictures of his old truck, too, so we could do side-by-side comparisons. But, I mean, I guess I could go find some. I'm sure I have some of his old truck.
You go to car shows or truck shows with that thing?
I might. I haven't decided yet.
His other truck is an award winner.
It is.
And it's technically, well, I'm not going to speak for him. I was going to say it's the same truck, just different year. It's spec'd a little different, but it's like kind of the same thing. But anyway, all right. So Gary,
it is the same. They're both 5, 6, 7 models. And then that truck is a little bit of a different spec, not much, but a little bit. And it had gotten a couple different awards from Overdrive Magazine, from their Pride and Polish, and a couple other truck shows.
So his other one, I'll find some pictures of it. But Gary's other one is, I don't know the exact color code, but it's like a gold and
Spanish gold, and legendary black.
There you go, dude. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful truck. All right, Gary. So, let's get into talking about the equipment stuff here, man. And don't be afraid to gloat or whatever. You know what I mean? Because really, we really want some hard answers here, man. You know what I mean? We're talking about stuff, you know what I mean? So, now first question is, why are you getting out of the other truck? I know you had some issues with it last year, but I thought you got those fixed. So, why getting into this one when you have that amazing other truck there?
So some opportunities presented itself for this upcoming year that needed me to expand. So that is the reason for purchase of this truck, purchase of another trailer like my one here, and a larger trailer in the mid-year. Both of these trucks will be 100% full for the next year. I've got work for both trucks for the year, including in July when my larger trailer comes. I've got an owner operator who's signing on with me. So I'll personally have more trucks going this year than ever, and on an expansion rate that is conducive to my likes. So that was the reason to purchase this truck. And when I purchased the black and gold truck, you know, it was everything I wanted then. And I thought, you know what, this truck is still, I mean, every truck's going to have, you know, problems here and there. This truck, I'm sure, will have its fair share of problems as well. But I wanted to step out of that one, put a driver in that one, and build this one the way that I wanted to build it, and put all the additions on it, and have a potential true working show truck if I should decide to go to any of the shows.
So got it. What I got from all of that is Gary's company is growing, and he's gonna have to hire
Correct.
people. And he was like, I sure as hell ain't putting a new driver in a new truck. I'm gonna get the new one, and they gonna get the old hoopty. Gotcha, Gary.
So, well, that's not entirely true, because you know how well I take care of the old
I
hoopty,
know,
right?
bro. I know.
So,
I know.
what's interesting about how I'm growing, gentlemen, I will be the first one to tell you, I will not just go hire anybody. The gentleman that's coming on, I've been friends with actually for quite a while. He's a 25-year, 30-year veteran of heavy haul, and his CB handle is Mr. Pickle, and he will be the one going into that truck. And then I've got another gentleman, his handle is Frog. He'll be my owner operator coming on in the mid-year, well, mid, or end of Q2, beginning of Q3 or so. There's some big things that are going to be happening this year, and this truck was one of them for me. And everybody kept asking me, oh, what are you up to this year? What are you doing? And then some people knew I was getting a truck. Well, what color is it? And I absolutely refused to tell anybody anything until I debuted it on LinkedIn. I mean, I had people pissed because I wouldn't tell them if it's going to have twinkle lights or whatever, or what color is it going to be. So the color scheme on this is legendary gray and legendary purple. And I know the pictures don't do it any justice, but when on a sunny day and you're up close to this thing sparkles like a mink coat. It is amazing.
I believe it. And hold on, bro. I found some pictures of your other truck. I downloaded them to the wrong file. I love this purple truck though, and I'll tell you why is because I fucking love the color purple, dude. Like, I'm serious. Like, I don't know, purple does not. I literally said this about to someone a while back about a truck video I posted, and they said this exact what I'm about to say. And it was purple doesn't get enough love. I was like, no, it doesn't, dude. It is like the right color. Purple is just, it is perfect on any automobile,
yep,
including big trucks.
Agreed.
Man. Yes, man. Yes. And I like yours. I'm going to find this other picture so I can show you before we get off. But I like yours because it's so deep. It's almost black, and I know in the right light, when you stand the right way, the truck looks black. And I've not even seen the fucking thing in person.
It's like a cross between Mopar purple and Plum Crazy purple. That's what I feel like it is.
Oh.
And only like the old heads understand what those colors look like.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. I'm all about it. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to do like 8 things at once because I have a shitty ass co-host over here. It's not helping me at all.
All right, hold on. I'll tell you what. I'm going to step out of the truck for a second with you guys on the camera.
Bro,
we're going to talk about some things.
There's the old one. All right. So what was the old one's name, Gary? I can't remember.
The old one didn't really have a name, to be honest.
Oh,
All right, so
okay.
everything that I had done on this truck on Purple
Hold
Rain.
on, I gotta
All right.
put you on the big screen, bro. Hold on, I gotta figure it
I
out. You keep talking.
Well, you'll
just,
put me on the. You'll put me on the big screen. All right, every
Yeah.
single thing that was done on this truck was done right there. 4 states Chrome Shop. So I'll walk you through everything, with the exception of the headache rack. The headache rack was built by Bruner Industries, okay? But I had an idea to make everything different. And I'm going to go over and walk to the snow and freeze my ass off, but that's fine. My different idea.
Hold on, Gary. God dang it. Hold on.
Why do you keep putting me on the big screen?
I
Nobody
don't know
wants
how
look
to
at my
change
ugly
it.
face.
You
They wanna
don't-
look
All right,
at
well,
the
I'll just keep talking and I'll show it in a minute. All right, so everything that was done at Bruner just built the headache cabinet. That's it. They just built
Boom.
the cabinet. They
that's
laser
beautiful.
cut. They laser cut all the stainless wrap. Then I had all the stainless wrap sent here to 4 states, and then 4 states. Cody, who is their fab man, he quilted every single piece. Every piece is hand bent, including the fenders, including all the frame rail, all the back plate, all the inlay, all the diamonds match up 100%. I wanted a truck that looked so different. They have ridiculous amounts of orders for that same headache rack already. And
They
then
did a video on that, didn't they? Or
they did.
Someone did a video on that.
So Chrome Shop Mafia, that's the fab shop, right? That's Cody. He's the one that did the video with his guy. And everybody was like, well, what are you going to name it? I said, Purple Rain. They're like, oh, like Prince. I'm like, yeah, kind of, but REIGN, like royalty, because to me,
Yeah.
this truck is royalty, baby, from start to finish,
It's
front to
beautiful,
back,
man.
top to bottom. And it is a bright son of a bitch. And I absolutely just love it. If you ever realize that when you have a child and you fall in love with that child the moment that child is born, gentlemen, that is my child. And I fell in love with her the moment she was fucking birthed. And so I recently added these. So now I've got purple lights inside the breathers. I'm going to add another one to make it even brighter. But even the license plate lights up.
Dude,
I mean, that's
that is
pimp.
sick, dude.
Pimping it. Listen,
Golly.
pimping ain't easy, baby.
Pimping
Pimping ain't
ain't
easy.
easy.
And by the way, if anybody ever comes to my house, that's my Wi-Fi password.
Oh, bro, that's so fucking good right there.
Ah, it's colder than shit outside. I'm gonna get back up in here where it's warmer.
I know it was snowing over there, bro. See that?
It is. It's snowing right now. Yeah.
All right, I don't think I have a picture of this one truck I was talking about, but I do have a good video. But I'm gonna still show your stuff first.
Yeah. Everybody always called the other truck the Hustler truck. I guess it could have been called that. You know, it was just, you know, I had the Hustler on the back as my CB handle, and that's how people always address me. People asked me if I was going to put the Hustler on the back of this truck, and I decided not to because I didn't want to cover up the quilting. So I'm going to put the Hustler in vinyl on my window, probably like, you know, inch tall and 6-7 inches long.
Nice. I have no idea what freaking layout we were even on here, dude. They changed all of this, like, and Hunter and
You
I
got
have
some like portrait thing around him
Bro,
right now.
Yeah.
Like, look at that
I don't know.
purple
I don't think I
portrait thing.
did that. I don't
You
think
did.
I did.
You're the
that.
only one
You did.
touching shit.
How
You
could
did.
I do that, bro? Like, how
You did
could
it when you-
how could I
It's
do
a
it?
you were trying to make me more beautiful with a filter. It's like Snapchat.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's no way I did that.
Oh,
There's no way.
I
'cause
promise
why
I
is
don't
it-
look this beautiful when I get out of bed.
How is it only him? How's it only him then? You know what I mean? How's it only him?
That's all right. I feel like you know what this looks like to me. It looks like, you know, 1992 J.C. Penney photo with a frosted frame around it. Should I just sit like
my
this here?
God.
You're gonna
That's
make
funny.
every guest that's ever been on the lounge jealous of the fact that they didn't get a frosted.
Bro, I
framed out
honestly have
picture.
no idea how I did that. Like,
Hunter's
none.
gonna go back and watch us and go, "What the hell's wrong with you? Damn it, get shit right."
Hunter's gonna be like, I
Probably.
left for one
Dude.
show.
I know. That's he does all this. There you go. They're doing it. There's the old truck right there, dude. That gold is freaking beautiful.
And that truck sparkles the same way. So the legendary paint is what really it's got high metallic to begin with. In addition, legendary is a 2-stage paint that also has glass dust in it. So it really makes the paint pop.
And just so you know, most of Gary's pictures are truck washes.
Bath days, man. Bath days. Actually, that picture right there, I had just finished getting her polished. I was in Omaha, and I went and got it washed and dried it off and all that good shit. So everybody wants a chrome truck until it's time to take care of a chrome truck. This truck gets hand dried every single time I wash it, even if it's 5 degrees outside.
Oh, see, I noticed.
Dude, I watch those guys at the truck shows, and my anxiety just goes into overload. Like,
you got a few little different. I mean, I see you got some curved stacks on the new one. Are the new stacks taller? They look taller too.
No, they're the same. They're the same. They're the same height. They just look that way because they're 45-degree bends.
Nice. Got a different visor.
They're not the slants. No, it's the same visor. Same visor.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, is it?
Same visor. It's a stock visor with lights. I'm not a big fan of the big 18-inch freaking drop visors. You know, I've just never been a fan. I'm good with the nice stock visor. It's got lights in it. I could turn those into dual revolution. I'm happy.
That's what it is. Maybe it's just a whatever. Oh, good deal. Looks fucking. I like it, bro. I like both trucks. Let me see. You probably ain't gonna be able to tell it, but let me see.
You know, and I even had somebody message me not long ago, and they're like, "Yeah, your videos are nice, but all your freight's repetitive and it's boring." And I said, "That's fine. I'm gonna laugh and chill and take my boring ass all the way to the bank with the same freight every day." I said, have fun with whatever you're doing. I'm fine with that, gentlemen. I will run the same lane for 5 years straight if it pays me dividends.
I know that's right, broski. This is this that truck I was talking about, man. I don't know, it's kind of small, you won't be able to see it, but this is actually a purple truck.
Is that Redemption?
No,
that's not Redemption.
No, it was done by some folks here in Texas. Sap Brothers Custom Trucks. It's a crap, I cannot remember what year it is now, but it's a 379, and the dash in that thing is actually from an 80s 359, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Sick truck, but it looks black, dude. Like, even in the sunlight, it looks black, but when you stand at the right thing, you can see the purple. Oh man, it's fucking absolutely beautiful, dude. So, all right. So let's talk about I guess we can end it on cost stuff, money stuff. I really did want to get into that because I don't think people understand the level of investment that trucking takes. I mean, hey, even reefer. I know a guy that he's looking into buying a multi-temp reefer, one where he can run several different temperatures and different compartments and stuff, because he's got an insight to a customer that they specifically need that stuff. But that reefer is, I think it said it's going to cost them close to like $100,000 for the one that he needs. So, but anyway, Gary, you obviously look at your truck, you look at these trailers, man, this stuff isn't, cheap stuff, done fly by night. Or if you don't want to do this as a fly by night, sorry. What are the levels of the equipment as far as cost getting into this, and not just yours, but, just getting into a heavy haul period. I think we'd had this discussion before that you can't just put any fucking truck underneath something and it be able to haul it. So what does this stuff cost? What type of equipment should people be looking at?
I mean, when you talk about heavy haul or even just over-dimensional with non-heavy stuff, those two trucks are going to be night and day in comparison. So if you don't spec the right truck from the get-go, then you could screw yourself. I'll give you an example. You can spec an extremely heavy spec truck, but if you're only doing lighter stuff, then you've got a heavy truck for no reason, right? So I will say I do lighter stuff as well, and I do heavier stuff. So I've got the universal cap, I guess, to go one way or the other. If all you want to do is over-dimensional, just go spec a 3-axle truck. If you want to go heavier, then go spec a 4-axle truck, because the difference in weight can be up to 10,000 pounds. And the costs are going to be significantly different. You wanted just a cookie cutter truck, 3-axle to go, do whatever. Let's say you bought it brand new. You're probably looking at, depending on the type of truck, obviously Freightliner or Cascadia is going to be ridiculously cheap, and people use those all the time just to do regular overdimensional freight. But you could be looking at anywhere from $110,000 or $120,000 all the way up to probably $160,000. You want a heavy spec truck? This one in particular, with 5 years, 500,000 mile warranty, loaded to the gills as far as warranty goes, from the dealership, was $290,000. So $300,000. That's not including, gentlemen, all the extras that I put on here. That's my doing because I wanted that on there. But the truck alone, you're looking at $300,000. If you want a trailer similar to mine, you're looking at about $230,000, $220,000, $230,000. So you've got $500,000 invested in one set of equipment, one combo.
So, on that, Gary, and, want to kind of continue this because this is something else we talked about last time we were on, and this is a problem just in the traditional freight stuff when it comes to equipment, man. But I could imagine that there are the same type of situation with you guys in the sense of when it comes to equipment, Gary, what do you recommend people do? Do you recommend people go into a reputable dealership, buying new, and if they do buy used, what kind of things should they maybe stay away from and everything? Because I remember we having the discussion of like trucks, someone trying to pawn off a truck as it being a heavy haul truck, but then when you get it, you pull the first load, that thing's 110,000 pounds, and you blow your rear end out because it's just not made for that stuff.
I'm not a fan of buying used equipment. A lot of people are. I love having a warranty. Now, does that warranty end over time? Sure it does. But I've got peace of mind that I can go take it to the shop and it'll get fixed. Do I have downtime? Sure I do. Is it costly? Sure it is. But not as costly as if you go buy okay, man, I'm going to give you the best example. I have a very good buddy of mine. He went and bought a heavy spec truck used, and he bought it for, I want to say it was $120,000. Nice wide nose Kenworth. The dealership told him everything in the book was perfect. We went over it with a fine tooth comb. First load out, all kinds of shit broke. That man has spent $80,000 fixing what they said they went over with a fine tooth comb. He could have applied that $80,000 and it could have been $200,000, maybe even add a few more thousand. He probably could have bought a brand new truck and not have those problems. I'm not a fan of buying used equipment. Now, a lot of people also will because they've got, a 100 by 100 shop and they've got 2 mechanics on staff where they could keep one mechanic in-house and send the other mechanic out on the road to go fix their equipment. I don't have that. I don't have that luxury. So buying used equipment isn't for me. It's the difference between, do you want downtime or do you not? Do new trucks break down? Sure they do, but it's less likely, my own personal opinion. Why do I want to go buy somebody else's headache? Now, very easily, I could say, well, I'm going to go sell the black and gold truck. Well, Gary, you're selling somebody else. You're selling your headache to somebody else. Difference is I'm going to show them all the paperwork. I've got every piece of documentation to every single thing that's been done to that truck, and I will hand that book to them. You want to know what this truck has been through? Here you go. You make the choice. Nobody else is going to do that for you. Or if they do, it's very, very few and far between. That's my take on that.
Hey man, I'm with you, dude. I mean, unfortunately, I say that I don't know, but there's truck dealerships, but fortunately, there's not big string of reputable ones out there for used equipment at those type of levels. I remember I was talking about the last time that most of the stuff out there was at one point, or it was order new for a specific use, like the person that got it had something specific that they were doing with it. And, that's what you've got to understand what it's supposed to be used for, not just, throw it out there and think it's going to handle anything. Kind of like the situation we talked about with the people that put the load on there with the trailer couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? The sad thing is I know you, Gary. I know you probably addressed it with those drivers too, and that they were just too, proud to admit that, they didn't know what they're doing. But there you go. It's someone buying something that wasn't made for it.
Well, about that, I tried to talk to those folks, and they were Ukrainian and didn't speak a lick of English.
Oh, that's
Can't
nice.
convey to somebody something. That's another problem. And like I said,
Couldn't read the
whether
weight limits on the trailer.
going back to what we talked about, where I said both big companies and the foreign entities try to get into this to do things because they'll do it significantly cheaper, and they end up making things really, really bad. And a foreign entity has a profound effect and a domino effect of all the problems that happen in the heavy haul world. That's a major part. Just circling back to that, they had no business pulling those. The trucks that they had a 13,000 pound pusher that you'd see on a cattle hauler out west, and a 13,500 pound steerable, or a 13,500, front end, not a 20,000 pound. So that truck wasn't even, and that truck was so long, they wouldn't get any weight up there anyway. So there was no way to legally axle that load out. They weren't maxing those axles out. They only maxed out the capacity over capacity of the trailer.
All right,
but
well,
that's the difference.
We're gonna get to this last question, and we'll wind stuff down because my wife's leaving, and she says I gotta go listen for dinner. We're having shepherd's pie, boy. Yeah, boy.
Hell yeah!
I fucking love shepherd's pie, man. It gets some hate.
That the other night,
dude. It gets some hate, but I'm telling you, man. Hey, you ain't. That is true. That's true poor people food, in my opinion, right there. Because every damn ingredient in there is cheap, dude. You know what I mean? that's poor people food, broski. All right. So B math, dude. That's what I'm gonna forever call this guy. B math. B math said, should pricing to the customer shift based on the cost to run the truck for the same load, or should carriers set different minimums or daily rates based on that? I don't know. I kind of don't understand that one. Should pricing to the customer shift based on the cost to run the truck for the same load, or should carriers set different minimums or daily rates based on that?
To me, that comes down to the type of commodity it is. And the reason I say that is every single piece costs something different to move. Whether you go from equipment to buildings to vessels, there are so many different costs associated with doing different size things. There's no one uniform cost, in my opinion, unless it's the same thing you're hauling every single day. If you're hauling, yellow iron, and it's the same D11 dozer day in and day out, and that's all you're shuttling from port to, to minefield or manufacturer, whatever. If it's the same piece, then yeah, you can have uniformity, absolutely. But there's no one thing that's going to be the same. You can't have a daily rate for one thing that's, say, 12 foot wide versus another daily rate that's going to be, say, 16 feet wide. Those are night and day moves. One requires a route survey. One requires no route survey. One requires police in certain states. Let's talk, and that also goes into costs associated. Let's say you go into California or you go into Arizona. The two biggest states that charge the most for police escorts. The state of Arizona charges 95 cents a mile. This is a few years ago, last time I used them, and $95 an hour, both from port to port. So from the time the officer leaves his home till the time he gets home, that's what you get charged. It can cost you 20 grand on a minimum of 2 officers just to go through Arizona. Gentlemen, I am not incurring that cost. When I'm giving a bid, I'm going to give the customer 2 options. One, I can guesstimate what that's going to cost, and you're going to pay it to me all up front. Or I'm going to tell you it's going to be cost plus. I'm going to give you my bid for the load, and whatever I pay for them, I'm going to give you the receipt, and you're going to reimburse me. And a lot of people like that because they don't feel like they're being taken advantage of. It's the same with bucket trucks. Cost plus. Same with route surveys, cost plus.
Dang.
That's
There
not
you
that's
go.
not that's not new information. That's very general information, and a lot of customers will like that. But then they'll say, "Well, what's it going to cost?" Okay, well, I'm going to give you an estimate, but I'm going to tell you, as per outlay, be advised, as everybody likes to say, that's subject to change. Because if the route grows, it can get substantially more expensive. If we have to sit and wait 7 days, even though we scheduled 2 weeks prior, and we get there and those, say, Arizona cops or California Highway Patrol or, you know, Mississippi Patrol, they don't show up for 7 days because that's still considered volunteer work, even though you're getting paid, you're off duty. Those costs change. Now we're racking up layover charges for the truck, for the escorts, for everybody who's sitting there waiting.
Lord have
Why?
mercy.
Because that load is still on this trailer and I'm not making money elsewhere.
Like Amy said earlier in the show, Gary's giving out free game over here, boy.
Who said that?
Amy Kern.
Oh.
She's been commenting. Now, you just can't see him, but she was talking about, like, she'd said the paperwork thing is important, and so is open communication. She's been on her comment for you. I know you can't see him because you're on your phone. Speaking of, are you on an iPhone?
No, I'm on an Android. iPhones can lick my balls. I hate anything Apple.
Mystical thing that's
you
going
know how hard
on.
it is for me to take him seriously now, especially when he crosses his hand because he literally looks at his arms because he looks like a school kid sitting there taking his senior picture. Every time he moves,
Oh, that shit's so big.
There you go.
I don't know how that.
You know what that
happened,
feels
bro.
like? You know what that feels like? Freaking Napoleon Dynamite. Okay, lift your head and just move it just to the left. Shit.
That's so weird that it did that to him. I have no idea. I have no idea how that happened. I really don't.
It's going to be permanently tied to him every time.
It probably will. It probably will.
And the fact that it pulses when he talks is the other weird
does it?
part. Yes.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
look,
That's
you
great.
see it? Look, it's so fucking weird. That's the other. I have no idea how that happened. That is like the craziest fucking.
It might have been
thing,
actually on his phone. It might have been on his phone that he did it because it happened It happened when you were messing around.
Yeah, but he was outside of his truck messing with his phone.
He was getting out of the truck to go outside, and that's when it happened. So
that's the craziest.
Damn
thing,
androids.
Dude. Maybe it's the frost because I know it's damn cold outside. I mean, it's like freaking 18
That's what it is.
degrees
That's
outside.
what it is. It's the frost. There you go. Oh, that's good stuff.
What do you say,
Tracy
Pedro?
Smith, like Tracy always says. I can't remember her saying fully now, but details
Inches
matter.
inches matter, details matter. We don't rearrange bridges. Now go do all the things. Have a good day or some shit like that.
Yeah, come on, Tracy. What is it? Give me the tagline. I'm glad to see Tracy. She's a hoot, man. She's something else.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Tracy, because her and I have worked together on some things. And if there is a woman who knows her shit, every woman on LinkedIn should be learning from her, because that woman has built her area on her own for a company that, her talents are unbelievable what she's done for that company. She is amazing and she knows what the hell she's doing. So any carrier out there, you guys should be working with her when you're whether open deck or heavy haul.
I agree. I think Tracy's aight too. You're aight, Tracy.
I didn't even know she was watching in.
I didn't either. She never does. Well, I don't know. She may be always just scoping in the back, whatever. But I love Tracy. We mess around all the time when DMing each other inappropriate things, and that sounds wrong, but I mean inappropriate like childish shit.
Oh no. I mean I get it. Like I get it, dude. I'm the ultimate button pusher, so I like pushing people's buttons. I get it.
Tracy's awesome. It's
Inches
always
and details matter. We do not rearrange bridges. Cheap isn't safe.
There you go.
There it is.
That's what it is.
Now run along, go do all the things. Kate, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, Tracy's awesome, man. She is. I thought I was going to get to meet her a couple times last year for some truck shows, but she didn't make it out. Maybe this year. Maybe she'll come to the Houston Truck Show or drag me to Pulling in the Pines or something else, and I'll finally get to meet her. Because in Texas terms, she really doesn't live that far from it. She's only in Houston. It's like 3 hours, so it's not.
No,
honestly
Texas is only
Yeah.
10 hours away from Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, dude. Exactly. What the fuck was I going to talk about after that?
I mean,
I
and
don't
as
know.
far as giving free information, as Amy was, let's go back to our conversation a year ago. If you remember what I told you, I will teach anybody any of this if they want to come sit in this seat and learn. I got no problem with that. But as far as consultation goes, yeah, there's gonna be a price for that.
Well, I can attest that you're willing to teach. I didn't ask for a lot, but you gave me a lot more than I asked for. That makes sense. And I still have those 2 cheat sheets that you fucking sent me, dude. Those PDFs.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, still do, man. Like, you sent me those, and I went through them, and I was like, okay, like, damn, there's a lot of time that went into these things, and so I do. I still have the emails, I still have
I
those
spent
files saved.
so much time putting those things together, and I still use them to this day, even though I'm not going to say they're outdated. Some things have changed, but very minimal.
Yeah. Well, it still literally still helps me today. I mean, it helped me the other, might help me on something. But I may just let Adam Spencer do it. But these people are trying to move this thing. It's like 13 feet 8 tall or something like that. And they're like, oh, well, can we, oh, and it's wide. It's like 11.5 feet wide. And they're like, oh, well, can we just put it on a step deck? And I was like, no, it's not going to work on a step deck. It's going to be too tall because the step deck's this. Going to have to be on like a low boy. Is like, and then you're going to have fucking permits because this thing is going from it's literally going from Virginia to California.
How long?
So, it's not that long, honestly. It's only like 20 feet. It's
How
the
heavy?
width. It's like 8,000 pounds. It's light. It's light. It's a little piece of machinery that they have crated up and stuff. It goes
11 feet wide isn't shit. The 13.8 tall, that's the problem right there. So they need to just put it on a mini deck. But the problem with only being 8,000 pounds on a mini deck, it's not going to push the camera down. So it's still going to have some height to it. Gentlemen, you have got to know your equipment. I'm not saying you in general. Anybody who wants to get into this,
to Adam Spencer, man. Like, I asked Adam, "Is this within your?"
Call me next time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I obviously would want to call you Gary, but like you just said in the show earlier, dude, you're literally booked like 6 fucking months out. So,
but what else did I say? I have a network of partner carriers. Just because I'm busy doesn't mean that they are always busy themselves. I keep them busy, but they have also got a lot more capacity than me, and that's part of what I offer. It's not a dispatch service. It's a, hey, guess what? I handle everything from start to finish. Just call me and I'll take care of it. And they love that.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's a win-win for everybody. That's another thing Tracy can attest to that we've talked about and executed in the past. You need something done, just call me. It doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to do it, but I'll make sure somebody does that takes care of it.
Well, I will do that next time, my broski.
But when you know your equipment, whether agent, broker, or carrier, you know what can go on there. And just because something weighs, let's say there are 2 pieces that are 8'6" wide, the width of your trailer, and that they are 10 feet apiece, so you're only taking up 20 feet of deck, and they're, say, 12 foot tall, but they each weigh, say, 15,000 pounds each. Well, you can't just go put that on a truck like mine. Do you know why? It seems like it should because it's only 30,000 pounds, right? But why can't you put it on a truck like mine?
I have no idea.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you because it's very simple in math. You cannot go over 80,000 pounds in this country with more than one piece. That's a divisible load. Okay. My empty weight is 63,500 pounds. So therefore, I can only put 16,500 on this deck as a multiple piece. Anything after that is a single piece. So I can't just go dabble in the 5-axle everyday John Deere and Yellow Freight and Case equipment because of my empty weight being multi-axle. That's where specs comes in.
That. Sorry.
That's where specs come in to play when you're ordering your equipment. If you want to go haul all that stuff and put 45,000 pounds on your deck, you can do that on a 5-axle setup, but it's got to be a light 5-axle setup. And you can do that with a light RGN. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Amy, that's I don't know if maybe Gary was just literally answering it, but Amy, I say an RGN, and because I say an RGN, A, because it'll sit low enough, and B, this piece is so dang long that they have to use a freaking forklift with I don't know, what is it, the 10-foot forks on it. So I was like, man, you're gonna have to drive this thing on to the fucking trailer somehow. So I said an RGN would probably work the best too, because it'll handle everything. It'll take care of the height, it'll take care of the width, the weight's not an issue. They can drop it, they can use their big forklift thing, drive the damn thing right on there, drop it off, bada bing, bada boom, you're freaking done. But I think that's what Adam bid it at too, was an RGN. It was still pricey. Like when he told me the price, I was like, damn, dude. Like, holy
If you're
crap,
13.8, if you're 13.8 tall, it needs to go on an RGN, period.
it was a lot, man. It was, I'd have to look up the email, but it was, it was a lot of fucking money. Yeah, you're right, Tracy. Details do matter, 1,000%. All right.
I mean, I get people that'll message me and I'll give them rates. I mean, I have somebody reaching out to me all the time, this one particular gal, and she's like, can you help me out with this? And I literally just told her, why? Your customers don't like my rates. Why are we having this conversation? You know, well, because her customers will always come back and tell her, oh, well, that person's too expensive. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
B-Math, I'm going to get to your question here in about.
I'm okay with being the case because I know what I'm going to bring to the table. Please, by all means, go find less.
Experience or experience and or expertise isn't cheap.
Just knowledge, education. The fact that it's done
saying.
right and there's no corners cut. You will never find me, gentlemen, without a pilot car if one is needed. You'll never find me without a permit if one is needed. There's no flipping reason for it. None.
I say the same. I say it should be the same for everybody. I say the same for myself, man. I say it a lot on this show. That I say it a lot to my customers, and I do. My price is my price. Like, you know, don't say, can you do it for $50 cheaper, $100 cheaper? No, the answer is always no.
Know your worth.
This is my rate. This is like
that is
my
correct.
rate.
Know your worth.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, it sounds stupid, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And my always think back, my reply always back is if this is where you needed to be, why didn't you just ask if I could do it for that rate? You know what I mean?
That's something I will tell customers. I don't want to sit here and play your bidding war.
Yeah.
Do you have a budgetary number? Where would you like this to be for the service that I'm going to give you?
Yeah.
I mean, I have, that's just it. I get it. You want to make money. Well, I can help you make money and make money in myself. If we just come to a nice negotiation instead of going, oh, you know, yeah, you're too expensive. I'm going to go with the cheaper option. Have fun. We could have did a lot of cool things together.
All right. Gary loves touring the local Mexican establishments. Let me tell you,
sir. Don't you worry about what I tour.
I don't.
Okay.
I meant Mexican restaurants. Golly, chicken dirty.
Listen. I am a Mexican whore. Okay.
I know you are, bro.
Flat out.
And
there's a reason. There is a reason for that. Growing up in California, in the Central Valley, the vast majority of my friends growing up and still to this day are Mexican. So when I tell you I have had the best food on the planet from their homes, it becomes a way of life to where you just want to eat it 7 days a week, and that'll never bother me.
I'm with you.
However, with my recent, weight loss journey, that's, that I still go, but I've changed the eating habit, So there's that.
Well, all right, Gary. We're gonna let you. We're gonna let you go because I know this fucking oven with the shepherd pie is gonna go off. I know my wife so well. Hold on, I was gonna get to it in a minute.
I'm trying to,
Steven,
just keep talking, man.
I literally know my wife is gonna text me when she gets to my son's work, and she's like, "Did the oven go off? And did you pull dinner out?" I know she's going to.
I'm gonna start playing
Josh,
bells in here.
Mexican food is fire. So
well, I do hope that I've answered or at least given the answers that folks are looking for all those that have asked the questions. So to everybody out there, man, thank you for, being involved and asking those questions. Thank you to you guys for having me on the show. It's always an absolute pleasure. I always look forward to it, whether it's a Freestyle Friday or being on here, in a heart to heart with y'all. I take great pleasure in that. You know, I've told a lot of folks about it. I've added my LinkedIn, so I don't know how many's been watching. Hopefully it's been, you know, inspirational or educational for those. And anybody is welcome to reach out to me at any point. Come sit in this seat, take a ride. Let's do. Listen, this is what and a very, very good friend of this and partner carrier sent this to me, and he said, "Look, let's go out and make this the best possible year and make great amounts of money and be prosperous and do it right, you know." And when we talk about making great amount of money, we're not just talking about us in a selfish manner. We're talking about our customers, our consignees, our agents. We're talking about everybody involved, our pilot cars, our permit techs. That's a whole. That's not just us. We want to make sure everybody else is fed and we make that obscene amount of money for everybody involved. And that's the way it should be.
All right. Well, I have to go get this oven because it just went off. We're not ending the show just yet. I just need to go get this oven. So, Steve, pull up BMAS comment, and then we can ask Gary that, and then we can do sponsor break, and then we can end the show.
What's his question there?
So where can we find you and follow you? So I know his next question is going to pop up and try to schedule a ride with you, which I think would be awesome. But yeah, where can people find you and follow you?
So they can find me here on LinkedIn. This is my professional profile, is my largest profile. I get the vast majority of a lot of work from here. I do have a TikTok. It's HHH for Hustler Heavy Haul. Handle will be the Hustler 5269, and then on it'll be Hustler Heavy Haul on Instagram. I don't have Facebook because it's vile and it's ridiculous. But those are the three platforms they can find me on. They can, you know, send me a link. With like LinkedIn, it's 100% open, so anybody can request me, DM, see whatever they want. My TikTok is wide open as well, and then my Instagram is private. That was a lot of friends and family and things of that nature. But it's probably going to end up going public as well. But that's where y'all can find me. If he's, I don't know what platform he's watching from.
YouTube.
But like
he's watching from YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I have a YouTube account as well. I don't even remember what the hell the name of that was. I post stuff on there, but I don't remember the name of it. But if you got a LinkedIn profile, you know, hop on LinkedIn. You can locate me there. Just type in Gary Johnson, the Hustler, and that'll usually pop up. Or those other handles on the other platforms.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I love learning about heavy haul, man. It's very educational for me. I was excited when Pedro asked me to step in and co-host for this one. I just think it's the coolest shit in the world, man. What you do.
And it's funny you said that. You said the word heavy haul lane. Let's touch on that for a second. To me, because I get this question all the time. What lane do you run? Huh? No, I run the whole country. There's no lane for heavy haul. You go where the load takes you. Period. There's no running from Dallas to Chicago repetitively unless it's a project. And that project's only going to last for so long. Then you move on to the next project. So there's no, and that's just for educational purposes, there's no specific lane for heavy haul. Unless, or let me take that back. Let me step back. Unless it's equipment from, say, Decatur, from Caterpillar and Decatur, they got dedicated lanes that go straight to specific ports. That would be different. But everyday other stuff, no, there's no lane. There's no market either. There's no market number. Everybody's asking me, "Oh, you're way above market." Fuck out of here with that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I don't want to hear that. You're above market. You know, like I said, go find less. I don't see market. You know, that was a conversation I had with Truck Stop a while back. We were trying to implement some things to help them out, and I told them that's the first thing they needed to get rid of was the estimated fuel costs for heavy haul, the estimated miles. All of that was so far off, and the market price. A lot of that stuff's been gotten rid of.
Yeah, I'm not going to steal Brandon's thunder. I think when you guys connect, you'll see. But what he's trying to build, I think is pretty neat. So, yeah.
Tell him to reach out. I'd love to hear from him. And please, by all means, identify yourself so I know who you are, because I get tons of messages.
Yeah, Gary.
It
Gary
comes to
gets
stuff
a lot.
like this, and I don't.
Gary gets a lot
It's
of
the best
DMs
of me, and
because of his
sometimes.
only freight profile.
That's right, baby. Hey.
You wouldn't know it, but Gary's got some purty feet.
Start selling them bitches. I'm telling you.
Oh man! All right, Steve. Before we get to these sponsor breaks and talk about what we got next week, what you got to say, man?
Hey, like I just said a minute ago, I appreciate you inviting me on. This was very educational for me. Again, I'm nowhere in this in heavy haul, so it's good to learn, and I appreciate you coming on, sir. And you can check out. Well, I'll have to get some pictures of Purple Rain on Truck Picks, but you can check out trucks like Purple Rain and other trucks on Truck Picks at TruckingNewsHub.com. There's my shameless plug.
Check this out. This is an idea. This is an idea that I've been thinking about, and when I made Gary's post yesterday, I thought about it again, and now you're saying this, and here I am thinking about it once more. So we're talking about the only freight thing, dude. Is we should make that like a tab on TruckingNewsHub.com and on our website, and what it is all of our fucking homies' trucks. And like a story about just their trucks. Like it could be both of Gary's, the Hustler truck, and then Purple Rain. And then a short little thing about what it is, the type of truck, the engine, the gears, blah, 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 and whatever, you know. And then we could do like Philip Couch's fucking truck, New Testament. And you know what I'm saying? Steve, you get what I'm putting down, man?
I got you.
So you know who does that right now, oddly enough,
Overdrive.
and they have not just Overdrive, but for years and years and years. Cat Scale. Super trucks.
Oh, yes. Oh, dude, I know. There, bro. So check this out. I'll say this before we end, man. So we had Lee Meyer.
Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me. I had to clear my throat. We had Lee Meyer on last year, and she is the granddaughter of the founder of Iowa 80 Truck Stop. And obviously their family also owns Catskill. So she ended up getting Catskill to come on the show, talk to us and everything. And we're trying to, at Trucker Jamboree, we're going to see if we can do a show from inside their museum. We want to get her dad, Lee's dad, to give us a tour of their freaking museum, because he is like a truck fanatic and is in charge of curating like all the trucks, including the Catskill collection, because they have that there at the Trucker Jamboree Museum too. So, dude, I'm really looking forward to the Trucker Jamboree at Walcott, Iowa this summer, their truck show, just because of that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Freaking Catskills. But that family is an amazing family of truck collectors and antique truck curators. They freaking sure are, man. All right, let's get to paying some bills and talk about Sureline here for a second.
With Sureline Capital, you don't just get their 50 years experience in finance and banking, you get freedom. Sureline lets you choose the invoices you factor, so you're in control of your cash flow. Get advances up to 97% of the invoice for immediate expenses, and no early termination fees, so you can move on whenever the time is right. Being a business owner is about freedom, and Sureline Capital understands access to your revenue when and how you need it is a vital part of that. Start your path to more control over your money with SurelineCapital.com or call them at 801-605-8822. Make sure you use code SURETHING365 to get your first invoice up to $2,000 for free.
It's funny that you had mentioned earlier in the show that you factor and why you factor and it's right off, right? I mean, people tell me all the time why, because I use Sureline, I use Clinton, his team, and that's the same way I'm looking at. I get my money in 24 and 48 hours. It costs me a little bit, but that's 100% right off at the end of the year. Like,
bingo.
To me, it's you know, it's very, very common sense. Like, yeah, why use your
I
own
look at
money
it this way: Are you gonna give your money back and put your money back into your company with the write-off, or are you gonna give it to Uncle Sam?
Right.
That's literally all the accessories and shit I put on here is all because I don't want to give it to Uncle Sam.
Yep, 100%.
So why not put it back into your company? That's why you got all these trucks out here that are falling apart, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Put the money back into your company.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Sorry, Pedro. I didn't mean to step in there and your on your commercial on your
messed up
pay me
my
bills.
flow, bro. Man, dude. All
You
right.
mentioned it earlier. I had to bring it all back around in the circle.
It's a good plug. It's a good
Full
plug.
circle.
No, I
Full
love
circle.
Clinton is team.
Like that circle around your head right now, that glow.
That's right. That's right.
We still have not figured out, Tony. It's mystical. It's
That's
mystical.
funny.
But like
how
it
went
gets
up
bright.
when
Look
you
at that. Yeah, baby.
Oh
Like an
my
angel.
God. Oh my God. All right. Fright Ninja, everybody.
With sites coast to coast and close to the things you need, like repair facilities, food, fuel, and even shippers and receivers. Freight Ninja isn't just truck parking done differently, it's truck parking done the right way. View all our locations and find out more about us online at freightninja.com or call day or night at 844-303-1505. Make sure you use code Lounge Ninja to get special pricing.
Boom.
Fantastic.
Hey man, I'm telling you, them commercials, I love. Them commercials are dope, bro.
I'm gonna have to get you to make me a Trucking News Hub one because I've been still waiting on Hunter to make me one.
Dude, those. Hey, I'm telling you, the voices. I am not a big technology guy. I'm not, man. But those AI voices, the videos I made myself, but just the AI voice is amazing. And then I have another platform that I can plug that audio into, and I'll tell it, hey, give me a video idea for this, and it'll make an AI video, but they always look animated. But I just take those ideas and I'm like, okay, and I find videos that match it and make them up. But it's fun, cool, dude. That AI voice stuff, I can do whatever I want with that thing, man. It's pretty cool little program. It's called Artlist. It's fucking badass, dude.
All right, let's go eat, gentlemen.
All right, yeah, let's go eat. Already turned my oven off. So all right, let's talk about what we got next week. We
roped in.
I know, right? We do, because we'll sit here and talk. Fucking Gary ain't got shit to do, so he's.
I'm going to eat. I didn't even hook up to my wagon. I backed up to it, but I'm fixing to tear out of here and go hook up with a couple of guys and go have some dinner.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it next week, and it was so happened to be coming full circle on another plug that was given on the show tonight. We have Jessica and Natasha with United Commercial Insurance. Going to come on and chat it up with us next Wednesday. Going to talk about trucking insurance and get the skinny on that stuff. Get some advice. So bring your questions, ladies and germs, for the insurance girls. And then next Friday, we got Ryan Smith with Purple Squirrel coming in. That's going to be cool, man. I like Ryan. He's an old veteran dude. Really going to be a good one with talking with him. So that's going to be it for us. Everyone have yourself a wonderful weekend. Even though he's not here, we'll still say it, and I'll just have to do it on my own. So I say, chunk them deuces. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.